to finish things off with. So we'll see how this goes down, as it looks like we are getting ready for the pistol round. So map number 2, NiP with a convincing start here. 16-7 to kick things off with 12-3 first half. We'll see whether G2 can find anything here. We'll have a look at the bite on the pistol. They are studying the terrorist side. It's confirmed. 3 sets of armor so far. Scream gets that legendary deagle of his of the pistol. It can do so much hard work if he finds an opportunity just to land that initial shot. No utility purchase at all. 4 sets of armor and the Scream deagle.
Exist just spotting out toward Monster as well. And if he gets a little bit too confident thinking no one's there, he could walk into a world of problems as that decoy is finally going to explode. And G2, they're going to do the same in return as a unit onto the B site. It's Exist that has to fall back. He's got the ramp, he's got the headshot potential, but he in turn is taking damage and think down to 6 HP. Gooch down, rather. No head armor, obviously, but RPK and Smiths have got the kills. It's Get Right, at least from jungle. He's got a wide angle to hold. Shocks, he's made it through the pit onto the other side behind the wood, but he himself is on 5. Smiths 29. But as Smiths goes down to Get Right, it's still the man advantage for G2's side, and that third member can just be used for information. Body's going to get both kills.
Lovely stuff there from G2. That's a start they wanted. Didn't get it in the first map, but always known for their simple and assertive pistol rounds there. You see them going towards B, holding up at the start for any sort of initial CT push there. They get towards B, and it can't land the first headshot to CTs. It can't actually get anything rolling with the momentum in terms of that USP. G2 capitalized. Also on the side is overwhelm NiP with the Glocks there. The bombs planted. Get Right did what he could, but ultimately it's a pretty simple and secure round for G2 there. There will be quite a modest force buy here from the NiP, not getting armor at all, so just upgraded pistols, trying to keep the money a little bit stronger for that first gun round. You can see a heavy SMG buy. That's been the theme for G2 in these Antigas on the second round. Just 1 rifle, though, in the hands of Body for now. Controlling long, going to be a perfect scenario for them, considering there's no CD presence there at all, cleaning out bathrooms. And towards CD spawn, there's going to be Forrest and Get Right. Michael Eddy in the bathrooms area, but if they stay towards long with the rifle backing them up, this should be a pretty clean round for them.
Michael's going to let anyone push up inside of mid, but there's 3 players that have gone by him on the other approach to the A site. They're already down long. They're already at the mouth of the site. It's Scream that wants to be the first one in. And Forrest, taken down to 3 HP, is going to have to play very carefully from behind that dumpster, jumping around. Shocks the back 10. A lovely kill on Michael. Scream will find Get Right. And I mentioned Forrest, remember, is very low. Ooh. So his effect in all of this could be for naught. And you gasp at a nice shot from Scream again.
Lovely shot. Yeah, and he seems to be farming some considerable cash here. Gets to $1,800 from the 600 reward bonus of the UMP. It's just going to be Freiberg now looking for some exit kills. We said once G2 had control of long as well, that was pretty much it. NiP only having the pistols, no armor to work with there. So nice approach from G2. Molotov in the side, making the CT's face, and Scream with some lovely shots there, and 1 tap to the UMP. And Freiberg deciding on his rock, hoping some players exit towards long, which Body will do. It's a difficult shot considering he missed the first one, but he makes up for it, takes him down. Surely going to be punished here by Smiths, which he will be. MP7, the final kill. 2-0. It should be the full eco going in next. I guess NiP didn't get armor in the previous round, so they could get a few PT50s into this one. Won't be a complete full eco. But still, G2, with the start they wanted, they were unable to get in that first map.
Yeah, and that's a big thing because it's their map choice, and we talked about momentum. Them getting an early start, very important in that regard. That's the shot you liked at Scream, from Scream rather. And speaking of, he and RPK will lead the charge toward the B site. Fast play, stack up from NiP, but it's taken down immediately. Scream with 2, RPK with 1. NiP do considerable damage on the way through with the nade that was thrown at Monster, and 2 kills now onto RPK and Body. But they're inside of the site. It's just Michael remaining, and his head gets absolutely torn off. We said the star players need to step up.
Yep.
Scream has 7 kills over the last 2 rounds. Now, again, they're against pistols, but it's the accuracy by which he's doing it with that's what we're looking at.
That's scary, the kind of shot he's getting in there. There's 1 tap. He's getting in the zone now. That's what he's so well known for. And once he gets in that kind of area, that's when he can be his most formidable. No AWP for NiP going to that first game, which is surprising considering quite a modest second round. There'll be 5 rifles here. Michael was the main AWP for sure when we saw this map versus Godsend. This one actually had a really impressive performance. Scream straight through the smoke here, looking for the first kill. It's going to be 4 players joining him as well. Exist was well cut out for him.
Double flash back into the site to give Freiberg vision. That's going to work. He's got 2 kills out of it. Bombs down. Get Right spots it. And Body and Shocks need to find the way back toward the top of the site. It's Shocks versus 4. And he's already being tagged down. 56 HP. Get Right wraps around. Then NiP very impressively hold the site. They don't even get anywhere near a plant.
Freiburg with 3 kills as well. That Exist-Freiburg partnership on the B site has been really impressive this weekend. They've been stepping up every single time. Normally, against the slower plays, reading it really well. This is a full rush. With Scream leading the charge through the smoke as well. I thought it'd be really difficult for them to hold off, but they're stepping up. Perfect flashbangs utilized. You can see players wall munching at the side there. And Freiburg, we need him to actually be finding those kills on the B side. Needs to be strong. It's going to be a heavy area of contention here. Still money available for G2 this time. They go for the AWP. That was the first gun round. They know the CT's going to be weak. That's why you go for those fast plays. We saw it on Cash as well from NiP. Shocks almost rips off the head of the B player there. I think it was Freiburg. Needs to be careful. It takes a lot of balls to jump up and challenge these kind of guys, but stays alive for now.
Body is waiting for an opportunity to try and scour out the bathrooms. It's 3-1. NiP with the first gun round is going to stick with all rifles. 2 AKs picked up at Smith's on the AWP in turn, and damage done to Shocks already. He's on 3 HP. He's not even had a chance to fire back, as that I'm quite certain came by way of nade and spray through a smoke.
Very passive hold here from NiP. It's allowing G2 to get full control middle. You get the bathrooms, they got long, they've got short, they've got smokes available as well. They could do the full execute and actually push NiP back towards bank and to the CT spawn as well. This is perfect considering the time available as well. The only downside is Shocks is low HP. Michael sat behind Optimus, knows it's coming, they can detect it as well. They start to drop their utility and try and hold them off as long as possible.
Michael using the slight gap behind the exhaust pipe. The smoke's waiting, G2 inside of them with 33 seconds to work with. It's going to be the A hit. And already they're fading slightly off of the B site for an early rotation. There's 3 players here to slow this down. Forrest being one of them. He's going to have to swing wide on this APC, but he's got to watch out for flashes. He does it successfully as Get Right starts it off. He finishes it. And it's Smith's to find one back, but Get Right and Forrest have a crossfire set that is well established. Finally, Get Right will go down to the AWP, but Forrest has danced back to the left of the boxes, and he is going to close out the round himself.
Forrest stepping up once again. 4 kills for him, holding strong behind that APC area as well. You could see NiP knew they were in a back position considering that the full execution was coming in, but they dropped the incendiaries perfect, waiting for the flashbangs from the teammates as well. And he just steps up, nails every shot he has to as well, doing damage across the board. Scream in a horrible position, and Forrest has great positioning and continuing his strong form of this tournament so far. And eco for G2 going forward. Should be 3-3 after losing the pistol. NiP fighting back.
And talk about building money back into this quickly. Not only have they broken G2 early on, they also pick up the AWP from the terrorist side, so they don't have to buy one on Force. It's that little bit of extra cash injection down the line.
Michael's AWP as well now.
Yeah, so thrown over to him. There you go, yeah.
So, against Godsend, we were surprised to see him AWPing on this map. We weren't sure what the setup was going to be with him coming into this lineup of this tournament, but they seem to take to it very well, I have to say. Finding frags left, right, and center on this map, and it's going to be an A-sided attack once again. No utility to work with here for G2. Just going to be walking into the side, a headshot towards Forrest, though, but he keeps his calm there, and he actually is going to find the first 2 kills, and Michael chimes in as well.
Michael gets it right out from under Forrest, who now is up to 3 kills, trying to find Scream. It's not the ace, so it's fair game for everyone to go hunting, and Get Right will be the one to find it. 3-3 NiP directly back into this. We said they were good on overpass this weekend, and the A site seems to be a spot in particular where they have a nice coordinated setup, passive setup as well. We haven't seen them yet. I say yet because Michael has just got out the op, but yet go aggressive for that early pick. We know he will.
This is the sort of round you want to do it on. You know the money's not going to be fantastic. The terrorists only have third stage lost opponents, unable to get plants in the last couple of rounds as well. So they've actually got 5 AKs, and this is it. Pushing up. Michael with the AWP as well, backed up by Forrest for now. Not going for a full commitment. It's a lot of stack going on here potentially. Considering their options, not going to commit as Michael gets flashed off, has to fall back here. Once again, concentrating towards that A side. No one towards B whatsoever. Obviously, the connector is there. They want to fall back. It's up to Forrest once again as he drops the incendiary, trying to force a player into his crosshair.
I'm not sure what the plan was there when they took that AWP out. I think Michael potentially, like you said, might have wanted a boost.
Yeah, it wasn't clear as to what they were going for there, but Forrest, he wants to go for the first pick here.
This is actually all right because Michael's going to play from part-time, which gives him a nice lineup back into the bathroom for refrags, but it's going to be immediate trade from Body. And Michael, there it is. He's got the shot on Smiths. He's backed by Get Right. They won't expect 2. That's eventually where this is all going to go to Get Right, including the bullets from Scream. They're magnetized to his face as he's going to fall down. Bomb plant coming in 2 versus 2. And Shock's just waiting to push and watch behind Optimus Prime. Scream's got the shot on Freiburg, and Shock's just waits, like I say, and Exist walks directly into him.
Yeah, NiP with a decent read on the situation there, but the problem is they're only getting equal exchange every encounter. Forrest with the lineup, like you said, only gets 1 for it, and Michael he needed to step up there. He needed at least 1 or 2 going forward. He gets 1. It's not quite enough. Freiburg pushes through in the equal man situation, but taken down by the Shocks and Scream tag team combination. Getro is in great position there as well. I expected more after he dropped the bomb down, but still will be NiP with money in their side as they go towards the AWP once again. And Michael, G2 just missed on the Tech 9 here. They're still struggling slightly.
Freiburg going for the jump for information. It's seeing Exist over on this B side. Exist yet to get on the board. They haven't gone B in a while, to be fair, but
yeah, it's just
when
that
they
first
did,
gun run.
exactly. Well, and that was when Freiburg stepped up, the double flash back over the smokes, and he was able to pick up 3 kills. We got a choppy feed going on, it seems. In fact, it appears it's server side because Freiburg just made a gesture with his hands in the air as if to say,
DDoS, I think, maybe something like that.
Well, let's hope not, because
hope
Pasha
not.
will find you, and I will personally fund it. So
Well,
technical pause goes without saying. I wasn't sure if it was going to be GoTV side, but once I saw Freiburg's hands come off the mouse, it seemed blatantly obvious what exactly the case was.
Well, that will be the pause then. That slows that round down in its tracks. I guess the only good news is no damage has been exchanged at all, so we don't have to have a crazy situation. We have to work out what the situation is there going forward, but still it's going to be round number 8 that has come to a stop. It seems like the server completely died on us there.
Not that I ever want to mention it because we bring attention to them as they want, but how small of a person do you have to be to upset something like this?
Any way to get some sort of attention, I guess.
Man, like...
Oh, it's back on my feed at least.
I think it actually looks pretty smooth, so hopefully it wasn't that. Everyone seems to be moving around gracefully.
It seems like it's okay now. The players are moving around smoothly, like you said. They said they're just going to reload. The match medic shouldn't take too long.
So actually, as DDoS doesn't get resolved that fast, that kind of rules that out. If they match medicate, and if it lagged like that quickly, can they match medicate? Because that might be an EBOT issue that caused that.
Something like that. It could be a number of things.
I love when we speculate like this because honestly we have no idea.
It's weird for a DDoS to happen on a LAN environment. Obviously, it's more prevalent in online games. That's why you say a LAN. I can't even remember a DDoS incident.
Well, it's been a while, and I mean, obviously they all run VPN. That becomes standard protocol. Whereas online, it's so many ways. You've got 10 IPs you can get as opposed to.
Okay, good. Well, no, it's actually just a server line. I'm connected to service. The player's complaining. Normally, it'd be like a GoTV that gets DDoS.
Exactly.
So the player's getting it. That's pretty unlikely. That's almost impossible.
Yeah, I don't think we even need to have this conversation. I don't think that's what it is.
No.
Judged on the fact that they're already moving around gracefully again.
Yeah.
Although they are just doing the reset on the server right now, it appears.
Yeah, server is paused, so yeah, they're working out. The admins will be in it, but still, at least it feels like we've got a game on our hands this time. It's not going to be the whitewash we saw on the first time. It's going to be G2 actually with the lead so far, and we're going to a really prevalent round in the next one. It's going to be 4-3, and G2 without a weapon in the hands of Smith. He hasn't got an AWP. Full buy for an NiP. The money is at the point where they'll be broken after this one. Both teams, if they lose this round, will be onto an eco. So this is a very influential round going forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the make-or-break rounds in the first half when you consider that, NiP, they got the slow start, didn't get the pistol. You've got to build up some momentum on the CT side. You go down like this, broken in the middle of the half, and you've got to climb out of that, especially if you get broken efficiently and G2 builds up bank. It becomes a tall order just to win out the half at that point in time, going down potentially 6-3 off of that, if that were the case. There's so many things that can happen in CSGO. We
haven't seen that aggression, though, from Michael Ellie. We know that's what he likes to be doing, for better or for worse. He sometimes can be a little bit of a loose cannon in that respect, going for the glory plays and trying to get the first picks. Wouldn't necessarily say he's the most high-skilled AWPer, but definitely one of the most exciting.
NiP fans by the plenty. They've played here many, many times, and while the French have as well, under the Envious and Titan banners, G2, yeah, they were at Minsk. Yeah, they were. Actually, were they here last time we were here in May?
Who, NiP?
G2.
No, they weren't.
That's right. That was just after they made some changes and they didn't go to that event.
We had Godsense, we had VP,
That's
Navi.
right, VP ended up winning that one. Yeah, so G2 hasn't been here as much, so their brand not as perhaps developed, but when you have players like Scream, Shocks, it's kind of hard not to have a brand. They themselves bring that power.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Scream released a T-shirt the other day, and it seems like it's sold. It's hundreds of thousands. I've seen it every event.
I want one.
You just ask him nicely. I got a bot Alu T-shirt. You just have to ask.
I have one of those. I have the God Alu because I'm a nice guy.
Oh no, actually, I've got Alu as well. Yeah,
see, what happened was I went to Finland for assembly in February.
Yeah.
And that seems so long ago. This is my 20th LAN this year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That
right?
seems
so
long ago.
My 18th then.
Yeah. So anyway, I went to that event, and because I was the foreigner, and the Finnish people, they're humorous to an extent, but they're very loyal. So Natu took a bullet for the team and agreed to wear the bot one because that way I could wear the god one and look like the good guy as opposed to just instantly being outcast by the locals immediately.
Makes sense.
So that's why I have the god one.
Yeah, I've got one of those, and I wear it quite a lot. It's quite a nice T-shirt, but we still have got the guys with the headsets off. It doesn't look like this may be resolved as quickly as we thought. I thought it might be quite a quick resolution with the server reboots, but it doesn't seem to be the case just yet. If you're just joining us, you missed out on a hell of a map for NiP. Not so much of a spectator experience. I guess it was a perfect performance for them on how to play Cash, but we expect the hype, the close games in the Grand Finals. That's what we want to see. Hasn't quite delivered in that respect as of yet, but this one proves to be a lot more enticing as we have got the close game to kick things off. And we are getting past a note now. There's a note.
Well, a note is usually good. It means we've got something to work off of. What a delivery man, too. Let's see what it says, Henry. It says, meet me after class. I brought the banana. So.
All right, well,
I do know what it says. It says the score is 4-3, Henry. But that's not the only score. There's another one.
What is that?
It's on your well, it could be on your cell phone. You've just got to go to the iOS App Store or Google Play and download the Score Esports. That's all you have to do.
And what can you
They
find
did
on
not
that?
give me a note to do that.
What can you find on that app?
I actually thought about doing it during this break, too. No. Well, you can find lots of things. 2 interviews with me over the history of time. A couple things about some games and teams, but no, honestly, they've got lots of coverage for the course of the entire event, all of the scoreboards, interviews, articles. They have a very cool, actually, the one thing I do like about their graph system is it paints a very vibrant picture for what happened in the half. Instead of seeing just like, oh, half was 9-6, you see a graph on how many teams are ahead, and you can control it based on player, et cetera. So there's lots of information on that app that's available to people.
I actually use it myself, and I like it because every time there's a new movement in CSGO, you actually get a little notification with like the big news posts like saying like someone's just won his map or someone gets a big result at a tournament or there's been a roster change.
It does keep you updated. There's so much CS going on that even we forget sometimes people are playing, so it's nice.
Yeah, I use it for that respect, just so you don't have to be checking websites all the time. It gives you a little notification. You can choose to read it if you want to or not. They're
also Canadian, which instantly makes them great.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Right, that. That. You old dog, you. Exist, remember we did say, has been quiet to start things off, but you raised a good point as we ended the first map. That Threat not here. He's been relaying information. Threat not here partially due to studying, and they decided that, okay, if you need to study, we're going to try and implement the new system that we need to go back, or the old system, I guess, that we need to go back to with the in-game leading role. So relaying information, and it's been working, I have to say. This is some of the best we've seen from...
I found it odd considering they're going over the stand in this event. You probably want all the help you can get. You saw Navi, they're bringing Simple for their first event. You thought, okay, well, we're going to use StarSeries for this one. We're not quite ready yet. We're not ready to implement that new system, but I guess it makes more sense for NiP. Exist has called for this team for a long time. It was Threat that was the new addition, the change to the landscape. And it looks like we may be ready here. I can see the players actually on the server. They've got pistols right now, so they haven't done the match made, but the server looks smoother at least, where it's getting to a point where it looks playable. But yeah, just to make that point again, it's just, I think that it's a nice hybrid playstyle they can use now. Like Exist can bring his looser gameplay to the table as well, and it's going to be Threat feeding him information and allowing him to actually have the data of what strategies they should be running, what kind of approaches, what kind of nuances the CT setups may have, for example. And it's looking very exciting right now. Michael Ailey's coming to the lineup and actually fit in very nicely. He actually got man of the match in the previous one of Cash as well.
Best spray down, too.
Best spray down of the match.
Freiburg was king of the spray control.
Channeled his inner Bardolph and...
King of banana spray mat, whatever it was. Yeah, he did channel his inner Bardolph. I didn't make mention of who it was. You did that.
Just did it. You have to, don't you? Once every few months.
For us, it's like once every week.
Yeah, that's fine still.
Poor guy. But G2 with some rounds to work with in this game. As you mentioned, this round, it seems we should probably make mention of it again before we get started. Server's back underway, by the way. They're back into it. In fact, we're restarting right now, so here we go. But you mentioned it. Both teams are at breaking point.
Yeah, interesting stuff. It's going to be...
I think they're just holding to make sure the money is correct, but they have restarted.
Yeah, the Terror is winning the previous round, but still not having much to go into the next. They've got 4 AKs and 1 Tech 9. And we are getting the medic coming in now. It's working. It's all coming together. The scoreboard's correct. The money's in place. The match is still paused for now, but the buys come in. It's looking positive, Matthew. I like this. The crowd's coming to life.
It is good. And we've got an AWP out on Michaelele. It's carried over, as we know.
So, similar buys for both teams. Everything's okay. I'm watching the chat.
When I say carried over, I lie, by the way, because the last round did go to G2. So they brought that in, but like you say, breaking point regardless.
Yeah. So they had money available to go for this one. We haven't had a Henry Geosedicus sign yet.
Well, our names are on there. We signed that one.
That counts then. We signed it.
We
have to make them ourselves, but they're there.
Yeah. Could you imagine? That's what we're going to do from now on.
Yeah.
We're going to go find the most naive, impressionable person, and we're going to give them signs that have our names on them. Hey, can you just hold this up? Don't worry about what it says. That face with a rainbow on it, it's our mascot. Don't worry.
It is our mascot. We probably need to get a T-shirt of that.
See, there's even a rainbow on Get Right's keyboard supporting us.
I'm sure chat has responded in the correct manner. Well, then, a big round. We have seen some interesting ones. Grand finals always deliver a little bit of different game style, and we saw on Cash especially that 5-man CT setup towards mid on the pistol for G2. It's the mentality of trying to surprise your opponents. You want to throw the rulebook out the window and actually have some interesting and maybe not so orthodox setups. I'd like to see some of that. And we're back. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. So I apologize for the delay. We're not sure what happened. We haven't been told, but
it's good that you apologize because it was your fault.
It was. I'll take the full blame here. It was a server issue. We're back into it. It's 4-3. Map number 2. NiP picking up Cash. It's overpass, and G2 with the lead here, looking to fight back as we go into it. It's going to be, like I said, 4 AKs and Smiths. No AWP, just a Tech 9 in hand. And Michaelele, we're interested to see what he brings to the table. Passive. Not so aggressive again. Yeah, passive, which is maybe telling us what we're going to see from him in this half.
Well, and I wonder if this is just a change-up based on how G2's playing, because we saw Forrest go out there and throw the smoke. I thought surely over his shoulder, Michaelele must exist somewhere, but he doesn't. And Forrest, in turn, has gone all the way back to the A site, rotated around the park sign, gone back out to the flower pot. So Michael's going to try and bait him in. That's the play out toward long right now. Meanwhile, though, it's bomb drop back toward T-spawn. And a Hiko-esque style wait and lurk from Shocks outside of Monster. So if they try and push through and get information, he'll catch them off in that regard.
It's a risky push to go through Monster. You have to have some information to play with. You're not just going to go through without anything. But here we go then. G2 dissecting the map as they slowly make their way towards Connector as well. This could be a B split as they have cleared it out. Going to be opening that squeaky door from Connector. This will almost certainly be a B play. They have got one smoke remaining. That'll probably be used for the site as well. The Tech 9, you'd assume he'd have the bomb. He actually doesn't. It's Scream. Surely you want to give the bomb to the pistol player. But still, here we go. The Molotovs are dropped and surely the execute comes in. The problem is Freiburg and Exist have been very good holding off these sort of plays so far.
Freiburg with flash intended to catch off anyone in Monster. Well timed, but they're going to keep going regardless. There's no one peeking it out. And Exist, it's a headshot, but he goes down blanked again as he's yet to have an effect on the way through. The damage will help enough, but Freiburg gets overwhelmed. Body jumps down. He's able to take the shots into him and be successful. Look at the HP. G2 is bleeding out, but they're finding kills as our PK gets tagged up. He's still on 69 HP. It's going to be a boost back up for Body as they try and watch the balcony. And it's just Michaelele in a 1 versus 5, missing the shot. And the boost up, he's going to go, oh, did he realize it? No scope, Michaelele. He's trying to keep the gun. That's all he could hope for, but he goes down to the end from Smiths.
Quite a simple approach from G2. Like I said, NiP have been tremendous towards this beach site. The thing that's been most impressive about them is their utility usage as well. Reading the situation very well. You can see it happened once again. NiP dropping the incendiaries just before G2 wanted to execute there, trying to waste time and get rid of the smokes. But unfortunately, Exist, they managed to headshot everyone. It's not getting any kills there. Not a single one picked up at all, apart from the exit from Michaelele. Nice round from G2. They get the AWP in the hands of Smiths, and that was a full reset. We discussed that Molotov miss is not a huge deal. It is an eco for the Ninjas, CZs and USPs. So should be G2 getting 6-3 here.
Well, you mentioned that exactly, that last round breaking point. But it's also fair to state that with the, Forrest starting it off. With the effective play that we've seen that's out toward the park sign, or rather, excuse me, the party, out front of bathrooms. And he's since gone down as he walked back around the corner. Michaelele's got just ahead of him, but Smith's, he's already fading away. I was going to say, with the success they've had on B, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Michaelele either get aggressive on A so they can rotate a third player over to the site early, or maybe even get the AWP toward Monster.
Yeah, there's so many options with that weapon. Overpass provides lots of options for your AWP to be versatile and dynamic, but this round, it's going to be a pretty one-sided affair. Forrest did open things up with that USB headshot somehow towards middle. That was Scream going down, but a pretty clean round overall for G2. 6-3 now. considerable lead here on the T half of overpass.
And this is the exact scenario I'm kind of alluded to in that technical pause, because they've done it efficiently, which means they've got a round in hand still on the terrorist side, and NiP are effectively starting from nil. It's 2 rounds, a third now on to the lost round bonus, but they've fully invested into this. They'll have to save the next. You could be looking at potentially 8-3 quite quickly here if this doesn't go to plan for them.
Yeah.
And it's Forrest on the AWP instead, by the way.
Glass cannon, though. He was the only player. That's all he could afford going into this round. He had $4,800. The crowd are trying to cheer them on. It is a little bit more aggressive in here. They know they're up against the ropes in terms of the buy. They don't have the incendiaries to rely on. So Forrest was hunting for that first kill, but doesn't get anything for it just yet. The default hold from G2 as they connect themselves with their teammates towards mid.
And in this case, there is no 6th man in the booth for NiP. G2 even has Nyack. Most teams with their managers, it's just the players for NiP, so they are the 6th man in the room. Michael hits up that flash. He's got 1, he's got 2! Michael! No, he's not going to find the 3rd. It's Body that's going to take him down in the end. Just 2 lays for Michael, but that's good enough, as Forrest will come through and find out on Smiths. And not only that, take the bomb down as the smoke comes in to try and cover that off. It's just a little bit shallow, so it's still on the NiP side.
Yeah, that was an audacious push from Michael, I have to say, but it works out for him. Finds 2 kills, lined up as they're looking like they were making their way towards connected there, but now the remaining players, Body and Scream. It's going to be Body towards Long, making his way, and he's the one who has to step up here. The bomb can't walk in first, but Forrest is waiting for him, lands the headshot, and now just Scream. This round is almost guaranteed for the Ninjas. It was a difficult situation for them, considering the buy as well. Michael stepped up, could have got 3 out of that. Had he been a bit more composed on the 3rd kill, I don't think he realized he would have a full blind. Player was waiting in the bathrooms for him. He gets the USB out, he can't connect the shots, but still, it doesn't matter. He did the hard work already. They pick up a secondary AWP as well, and this is where things get interesting. Michael can now decide where he wants to go. Connector, Monster, Long. I want to be quite impressive to see him pick up those first few kills if he can, but this was the play. Pushes him first, and RPK lines up for him. The USP comes out, and Body fully blind as well. I thought he's going to get the 3-man. It would have been quite exciting had he have done it, but still money available for G2 here. Michael Lady towards Long. And will be Forrest actually making his way towards middle. So we've actually have the majority of the sniper power here towards mid and Long. Nothing towards B as of yet, but they have got 3 players. So it's 2 turrets on A, 3 rifles to B.
Scream looking for the aggressive play. We were expecting it as well, to be fair. With that smoke out, you'd think it's transcribed, but it's not yet necessarily written on the wall, because Scream is trying to find the shot against Michael Lely, who's not there. It's a double op setup, as you mentioned, Forrest as well. So we said potentially an op toward that monster tunnel position. It is Michael Lely that's playing at Toxic Barrels, or excuse me, at Parkside, but Toxic Barrels for Exist. So both ops reside on one side of the map right now. And Michael's going to wait for this as they've come around. First flash hits him. Second one, not a full duration, but essentially is just shallow of being popped on a screen. Remember, it's dictated based on how far your crosshair is from where it goes off, so he did have to fade away from that with the preemptive strike, and Shocks gets the kill on Forrest as a result. That's one of the AWPs down. That means the rifle of Get Right is going to be essential on holding off G2. They check the corner. Now they can focus within the depths of the site itself as Get Right transfers back over. It was a smoke, not a flash. That gives away his position. Now he's pushed even further back toward these stairs. They're staring him down. It's an AWP from Smiths that's going to greet him when he goes for the repeak, and now they're also watching off to Michael Lele, but he's pulled off 1. Exist has got the other, and Michael Lele's still in behind that truck position. He's got a second. This time he might get the 3 lays. He's all there. And Michael Lele is absolutely on fire once again on overpass. We said he was the resurgence to this team, and it's 4 kills for Michael Lele.
Stepping up again on overpass. It was G2 with a fantastic depot to kick things off. They got the map control towards bathrooms, killed Forrest as well. Michael Lely falls back. Looked like he was in a horrible position towards Optimus, but he lands that first shot just peaking at the perfect time. That was the one that secured the round. The time was ticking away. The bomb's down in a horrible position. He finds 4 kills, and he's taken G2 single-handedly down to an eco as well. Great work by him. He was great against Godsend and overpass, and he seems to be delivering once more. And you said it, Matt, the option to go towards Monster Tunnel is there. He's going to be doing it this round. Not going to have much opposition considering the buy, but NiP closing the gap now. This should bring it into 6-6.
Smiths is going to try and push up as well with the pistol. Forrest at Parkside on that second AWP was temporarily left to his own devices, as he seems to have no problem with that. He'll find Body down. It's Get Right that was transitioning. Now he's tagged up, though, and Get Right's going to have to come over and bail that position out. He's only able to get 1 kill, so guess what? It's Johnny on the spot once more. Michael might just be man of the match for a second
far.
time if this continues on.
Well then, just Scream remains. 1 minute to play with. Has got the bomb, but I don't think there's any chance of a plan here. Be a travesty for NiP to allow this to go down. He's just looking for the 1 digs at this point. They are denying it, to be fair. They're so passive. He could get a cheeky plant down. If he just did the default plant, I won't be aware, but he could actually be a possibility. He can't believe it. No one spotted him so far, but Michael hits another shot and actually finishes off as well. You set up Michael in a fantastic position so far. Money's not... Okay, it's actually pretty decent for G2. They can get the AWPs out. There will be a full buy across the board. So body drops over the AWP. This is where the game really starts now. We're all tied up at 6-6, 3 in a row, 4 NiP. A chance for them to go aggressive. We haven't really seen it. Michael is going to try towards B once again. He wants to go and challenge. He's shown so much a heavy presence towards the A side and long as well. Wants to be going for those first challenges towards the B side.
Body's aggressive. They are watching that smoke. It's a tantalizing prospect, and Forrest has gone behind it. It means they walk directly into him. Body's the first. Scream's the second. That's no easy opponent.
Yeah.
And he gets the headshot back with the AK-47 far out toward the fountain, and it'll slow things down to a 4 versus 4 with Get Right finally going down toward the lower tunnels. We haven't seen that either this map. We've seen very different approaches.
All the way as well. He's actually found no presence from the terrorists, so he's going up towards the ladder.
I like this. NiP knows that they haven't done a few different things that seem so common, but because they haven't, they get forgotten.
I like this a lot from Get Right. This could be a thorn in G2's side.
Get Right. He's got one. He's got bomb. He's got the smoke to cover it off. He's got essentially the round that his hands have flashed out. He's using everything, but he's going to give that up. He's going to get away from it, and Exist is going to be the one to chime in instead. It's Shocks that will get the kill in return.
It's so calculated from Get Right. He knows he's going to be in a difficult situation. If he dies by himself there, I guess G2 back in the round. He's done enough hard work here. He's discombobulated them. He's got them wondering where the hell he is. He falls back and stays alive and keeps it at 4-on-2 at this stage. RPK and Scream, not much to work with here. They haven't got the AWP. Just hoping as CT makes some mistakes and hunts for information. But NiP are more disciplined than that. They don't need to give this away. Stay on the site. Keep the crossfires going. All you need is a one-and-done position. Hold them off as long as possible. The incendiary drops as well. RPK has to wait longer as time ticks away.
Wait, and go. Slow, but nice shot. Scream. Freiburg, don't give this lead away. Keep the man advantage and get both. It's actually through the one and into the other as Freiburg gets a double on the way through. Same spot, he found the triple on the first gun round. He's playing that catwalk position almost to perfection.
Yeah, he's
as NiP is up to 7 rounds. It's G2 on 6, so they've got the lead again on the CT side.
Money's broken as well, no plan there. What an exciting game this is turning out to be. And Get Right there, that was such an intelligent play. Gets the connector. We saw that equal exchange at the start from Forrest and Scream, but Get Right, they just don't consider it being a possibility. Comes up the ladder, takes down Smith with the bomb as well, delays him for so long with the smoke, and it gets the hell out of there. Really nice play from him. It's going to be a partial buy from G2, rushing towards long with the upgraded pistols and body armor as well. Forrest watching middle.
He's the only one there. He's got a second player that's just rotated out from the stairwells of lower, but no one was watching long, so Forrest rotates back on the inside of Bathroom smartly. Doesn't want to get caught, but G2, unrelenting. They're going to go immediately into the site fast. They go through the Molotov. That's going to allow Get Right 1, Get Right 2. He's still got 2, but where's the pistol? He's got to swap to it. It's RPK that finds a double in return, and it's Michael rotating over. It's G2 slowed down. Bomb's been dropped as well on the inside of those double boxes, the default plant, which means they can watch it from the stairs, so a Molotov will push them back and Scream. Tech9, he's got 1 kill already. There's a shadow position he can't afford to push through, as Exist has already found his way into the corner, and thankfully spray down is favorable to the M4 as Exist. He hasn't had to do much in this game. He's been quiet on B. He'll come around and find 2 kills to close the round.
Got a little bit scary there. Just the pistols for G2, but they find that exchange at the bomb site. Gets very close range, and the Tech9 definitely has that snowball potential. As soon as you get 1 kill and reposition, the CTs at close range have a real tough time holding you off. Scream got Exist down to 30 HP, but like he said, the M4 comes out on top just about. And we go into the final round of the first half here. NiP have picked up the round, the half win with 8-6, looking to extend it to 9, but it's a double AWP setup for the T's this time. Interesting as Forrest, he's aggressive, looking for that first kill towards mid as he hides behind the smoke.
Forrest is just sitting in the corner. Body might go above him, but it's not a common angle to try and peek out with. However, watch the smoke dissolving because the gun barrel could be sticking forward. So the second man in this is actually the most important position to save Forrest right now. That's going to be Michael with the AWP. But an AWP and a wide peak is also in a vulnerable situation. As round 15 and NiP for the second opening half of the 2 maps has got the lead. They've already won the half, but winning the half is really inconsequential to what the overall score dictates on a map that still favors, in my opinion, the CT side to a certain extent.
Well, Forrest been baited up there. We've seen his position time and time again. Hasn't been used recently, but this could work out, you know. If Michael can bait him in, they're not even going to check it. 2 frags for Forrest, looking for more. Scream finally takes him down. 4 on 3 now, and they've got a minute to play with a man disadvantage as well, and only 1 smoke.
Scream was contemplating whether he sticks with the AK, as we know he's got so much potential with it, but he eventually will swap to the AWP. That gives them 2. On the 3 players remaining, there's 2 AWPs on G2's side to try and execute toward the site. 36 seconds and get right. It's an odd angle, but in this situation with Michael behind him on the AWP, it actually works. An RPK, he might go around behind him. He'll find Shocks surely for free, and that's exactly the case. Turns back, and Michael closes the half just as he's been playing it the whole time. 2 kills, and it's 9-6 for NiP. The last time Michael played with NiP was Asus ROG Assembly last winter after the X Games. It was the start of February, and it was the last tournament for Michael. NiP won that. He was the MVP of the tournament. He's the MVP so far of the finals, and his reunion might be perfect, shall we say.
He may have silenced his critics here. A lot of people were saying, I said in the first map, whether he's still good enough to play at this sort of level. He's in a grand final at a huge tournament against one of the best teams in the world, and he's posting incredible stats and being hugely influential with the AWP.
And I do have to step back a little bit. I would say MVP of the finals so far, but you can't discount Shocks' play to get G2 here in the first place. Of course,
yeah, absolutely. Well then, after winning the pistol and getting the 3-0, G2 only find 3 gun rounds. NiP fighting back and getting 6 in a row towards the end. 9-6 on the CT side. Still anyone's game, but it's positive for them. Looking incredibly strong right now. You can see that G2 don't look particularly fired up right now. No one's discussing anything. It's silence as we go into the second half. Let's watch over. This is a much more talkative environment that looks at things from NiP. Exists explaining what's going on. Getting the information. They can pick up this pistol. They're so tantalizingly close to taking this grand final. A 2-0 against G2 with a stand-in for NiP as well. I don't think anyone would consider NiP to be in contention for the grand final with their full lineup. Let alone with Michael here as well, but it's happened. And they've got a map up and their half advantage. As we get into the pistol here, we'll have a look at the buy for NiP. 4 sets of armor. Forrest with the pistol as well. He's got the upgraded P250. And Freiberg, he's got the smoke and flashbang. 5 sets of body armor for GT, pretty standard for them, but no kit as the bomb's planted. That's a difficult situation for them. And it's NiP sticking together, 5 men towards middle.
G2, just go back to that point as well. After that win with Michael, it took them 13 months to win another tournament in Malmo this year with Pitt. None in there with Alu, not to call out the Finnish star, but it never really worked for them in that sense. But right now, let's get things underway. Let's focus on where we are, because I don't want to count the chickens before they hatch. It's 9-6, and a pistol for G2 could put it at 9-9 pretty quickly if there's no plant, especially for NiP.
Yep, a lot lies in this pistol here. G2 desperately want to pick this up just to get the high back in their core, and they've got 2 players along for now, but the majority of NiP towards middle. Forrest, like I said, that's P250, looking for the first shot, but this time Smith stepping up, nails the headshot towards long.
Forrest on pistols. It still hasn't returned to its old form. We've seen glimmers of it, but this time Smith's bests him with that USB. And from a range, you'd expect that to work out, but it's Get Right that's going to pull it back. And now they've got the A site to work with. Smokes out covering between the default and the truck. And over the top of the box, it's Michael. It's Freiberg. Get Right's gone down, but they've got kills. They've got the flank covered off. Shocks is going to arrive, but he's got every kill required. Shocks has everything over the top and between the smoke, and now it's the defuse for G2. So we are looking at an early buy potentially for NiP off the plant. But 2 rounds potentially on the bounce for G2 as well.
The players are moving on my screen.
Oh no, not again.
We've got a problem. I think the round was already tied up before the lag came in, so that's fine. But
round is, ooh, that's tough. I think the shots from Shocks, you're right, were smooth, but the problem is, if you're going to match Medikit, you have to advance it by 1 round with a defuse and keep the money, so there's no medicing to an exact money amount here. This could take more time for the admins to do some maths. I did pluralize it just for you, Henry.
Oh, the bomb goes off behind us, apparently. That's not true, guys. Calm down. That won't be the case. That was a clean round win for G2. Oh no, Exister saying couldn't even shoot Shoxy. Michael Ellie says same. Uh-oh.
Yep, this could be a long time.
Here we go. It's going to be a definite discussion going on about this.
I wasn't sure because Shocks hit the shot so fast, and we just arrived with our observer that it was jarring enough without the I couldn't see the lag.
The fact they said they couldn't shoot Shoxy when they had 2 players looking at him towards long, that makes things interesting. That actually has to be a discussion now. I think this will take a good 20 minutes to work out what's going to happen. Because those are the kind of discussions you need to work out. You need to hypothesize what actually would have happened had they faced at the same time. He could have killed both of them. They could have killed him without losing a player. That could have been the round going in favor of NiP. Oh, God. This is not good news, Matt. This is not good.
Certainly not.
But there's a photo
There's
to remind us
yeah.
of good times.
Yeah. Of NiP with Michael winning a tournament.
Uh-oh. I'll keep my eye on the chat. But I think at this point, the headsets will come off. We need to have a proper discussion.
Well, this is where, and this is one of the things that I was always critical of NiP for before, because they never had a manager behind them in multiple, until Pitta showed up. And a lot of teams at that point, they weren't going with coaching roles, but they were going with managers. And sometimes, for the sake of the players, it's nice to have that sixth person that can go do the negotiating, to do the talking in these cases, because you are going to have both teams converging with the main admin. There's an admin in each booth. They'll report what they have to the main admin. The main admin will make the decision. But now, in this case, for NiP, you'd expect Exist to have to get up, shift his mentality into sort of a managerial role, and then sit back down and play again. And it can, maybe it doesn't affect him, but it's something I wouldn't want to do as a player.
This is an admin's nightmare right now. This is where you have to get the rule book out. When I was playing Elite, when you had server lag in the first round, as long as you're in the first round of the pistol, the first 3 rounds of the second half, for example, that's a reset overall. Considering the round was so deep, though, and it looked so likely that G2 were going to pick it up, it's a horrible situation. How do you even call this one? Do you just replay the pistol? I don't think either team would be happy with that. I think they both thought they were going to win it, considering that situation towards long.
Well, Bomb was down and 2 people facing Shocks, but at the same time, Shocks is going to say, whoa, I got the kills.
Yep. But they were lagging, apparently. But he had the advantage of the range. He has the USP. They have Glocks. Could have gone either way, to be fair.
And if I'm not mistaken, the last 3 kills that I read on the obituary were all blue to yellow, meaning it was actually a 3 versus 2 in favor of NiP.
So they've got out of the chairs.
This was expected.
Yeah, this is going to take a long time to work out, I think. So
free bathroom break, no timeout charged for that.
True. It's the silver lining, I guess, of this situation. Take the bathroom breaks while you can. But now then, this is going to delay the final considerably. So if you are just joining us, we kick things off on Cash. It was NiP with a tremendous performance in the first half. 12-3 on the terrorist side of Cash. Didn't look like they were slowing down at all. Managed to close things out 16-7. G2 started to get back into it, and we moved on to this map here. Overpass. NiP right now with a 9-6 lead after the first great CD performance. Then the last 6 rounds going in their favor. Michael with a fantastic performance. And now the pistol, the all-important pistol. We set out much this meant to both teams going into the second half. And G2 picked it up. They're closing up at 9-9. If NiP do it, they're so close to taking this grand final here. But now it comes down to, it was about a 3-on-2 situation in favor of G2, I think. 2 players facing towards long. Shoxy was flanking from that long area as a CT. They challenge him. The lag starts allegedly. It looked smooth to me. The lag looked like it came in after they died, but I obviously wasn't playing. We're on GoTV as well. But still, they're complaining that they couldn't kill Shoxy because there was a lag on the server, which we've experienced at the beginning of this map as well. So the situation is, as we understand it, admins need to decide whether we just restart the pistol. Did G2 definitely win it? This is similar scenes what we had in Northern Arena, right?
I've got to straight up ask your opinion.
Go on.
Because Nyax there's a manager for G2. What would you, as a player who's in that round,
so
what would you do?
I need to hear from both teams first.
What's fair?
I need to hear from Shoxy's point of view. I need to hear, was it lagging for you? I need to hear a yes or a no and see what his reaction is. If he's an honest man, he goes, yes, it was lagging. It probably was affecting that situation. Then that's information you've gathered as an admin. And if you speak to NiP and they say the same thing, you say, right, we were lagging for both teams.
But let's say you can't resolve. I think no matter what, there's a dispute.
Yeah, of course.
But do you restart round?
My decision would be, if there was lagging at a point where it was a key situation on the map, it could have gone either way. You're restarting the pistol. Unfortunately, it sucks for both teams. I think G2 will be gutted with that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because there's a dispute over who won the round.
They have the man advantage, but you just can't really say it was a clear-cut, foregone conclusion at that point. You just have no idea. With 2 players facing him, if they kill him without losing a frag, all of a sudden, they've got 2 players down. CTs without kits, remember. They had 5 sets of armor.
Yep.
That's really interesting to work out how that goes down. It's a horrible situation. It's going to take a long time to work out. You asked me what my decision would be. I'd need to interview both teams first, gauge their reactions, and then kind of go back, watch the demo, see if there was any lag, see if we can pick up what was happening, look at the server log, see if there's any spikes going on at that particular time.
It's a big a case of what if, right? There's so many scenarios that could play out. Everything's situational. You could replay that exact same peak, exact same positions 4 times, and it's whoever hits the shots.
Exactly. And the rules may state if there's lag happening within the pistol, there's a full restart, right? But it is such a key, influential point. It seems like they're going to sit down. Maybe they have an answer. We can probably gauge from the reactions. We're quite limited with our communications to the production team.
I mean, it's a bomb down.
Shoes are going on. This would be a discussion. This is a meeting going on, Matt.
Yep.
This is a full-on meeting.
Oh, well, at least NiP's leaving the booth. G2 seem to be quite content sitting where they are.
Or maybe they're going to the bathroom as well. You don't want to go to the bathroom in your socks.
You don't. Definitely not. Not a public one, anyway. This, yeah, I mean, this is really taking us back now, isn't it? 2013, French versus NiP in a final, and it's been a while since we've had one of these sort of issues, one of these gremlins showing up.
Yeah, lag in a LAN final. That's
retro CS guys. We're back.
Pretty unheard of. We obviously have no idea what the issue is. We can only really speculate. People were saying in the chat on the server DDoS, but I don't think that would be the case. It looks more like a server overload or something like that when that's happening. The server's still fine for me. I'm looking at the pings right now. If you think of a DDoS, the pings would go all spiking, going nuts. Normally, if you get DDoS in a game like this, it'd be the Go TV, the specs can't watch, and we have to pause the whole tournament because no one can watch it. That's why we're all here. That's why the sponsors are involved. We need to watch the game, right? It's very difficult to DDoS a LAN server traditionally, but yeah, this is a situation that's going to take a while. I guess we'll hear momentarily if someone could help us out and tell us what's going on, and we'll know where to go with this one.
I don't think we're any further along than we were originally. I see Freiburg taking the opportunity as the only one left in the booth on the NiP side to have a nice little discussion with the admin in his booth. Don't know that will account to anything. Can't imagine. Whereas on the G2 side, the admin's just chilling.
Yeah. Well, at this point,
Shock's doing the same.
What else can he do? A great game in the second showing on the overpass. Here we go. Good Smith.
So they're watching the replay,
right. Okay,
which
so
is actually to be the most. You may, in a situation where there is a dispute, especially in a grand final and a very important round, it's not like it was an eco, one team got blown. If it was an eco, if they had guns and kits and the T's lost in the post plant, you might say, look, chances are we weren't going to win it. Let's just make an agreement. Let's move forward. It's a pistol round, so you're going to get a little bit of one team saying, no, I wasn't lagging, and the other guy's going to say, well, I was.
That's the thing, right? That's why I'd say you have to speak to them and kind of gauge their reaction.
Well, but you're always going to get a blurred line.
Yeah, of course. He's going to say, yeah, it was lagging, but. He'll say the but. He'll come in and say, but for me, I can still kill people. And then it's like, you can admit you was lagging, but you can say it wasn't that bad.
But if I was Shox, I would say, look, I'm not saying Shox would say this, but if I was the person who got the kills, I'd say, no, I wasn't lagging, it was fine. I don't know what they're talking about.
True.
And then it's, okay, so it wasn't lagging.
It's grand finals time, you're down.
Anyway, point is, I was going to say the replay is the best way of doing it, by far.
Yeah, I guess there's no real way of proving he wasn't lagging. If he says, no, I wasn't, then you've got a bit of a problem on your hands. Because, I guess all we can do now, watch the demo, see whether shots weren't registering or they couldn't move or something was going on or they were obviously lagging, then we can work out from there. That will take, you have to watch that like maybe 5 times though. With the player, you don't even want the players there. This is the key thing. This is the whole headline of Northern Arena, right? You want the players involved as little as possible in this scenario. Maybe interview the key players, speak to Shox, speak to the 2 guys that are along individually, don't have a meeting about it, get them by once, and we'll see as we get some info here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I made it out like I'm a gremlin. I'm just saying in theory, he could say he wasn't lagging and it would create a huge problem. The thing is, these guys are all fairly good friends with each other. They know each other well, but at the same time, there's so much competition on the line. I feel like they're good sports with each other, but it's just such a difficult situation. You'd hate to be this admin.
Yep, this is, like I said, it's similar to Northern Arena, right? This is like one of those really, really hard decisions to make. Obviously, this one's...
I think this is a harder decision than Northern Arena to make, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd say so. But it's similar, right? It is quite topical at the moment, having admin decisions at big events. We're not so used to them recently. It hasn't really been crazy disputes at huge events like this. It's all been pretty clean cut from what I can remember. The last time I can remember was at Columbus, where we had a TeamSpeak crash, and with Virtus Pro versus this team, G2. We were casting it.
Yeah.
The TeamSpeak crashed, and there was these guys involved. That was the last one I can remember.
And it was G2 versus
VP.
Virtus Pro, and instantly the room's volume increased by about 4 times what it was, and all I could hear was Polish being screamed at each other. And it was actually kind of cool because you could see the experience of Virtus Pro. Right, we have no TeamSpeak. Let's just start yelling. Let's just start yelling as loud as we can to each other. And they were able to communicate. And G2 never did that. I can't remember the situation, but it was another situation where
headsets, right? But obviously, if that happens,
well, different languages anyway.
You're going to take one cup off and start shouting, right? Like you're going to have to. It's the only option you've got. You can't just be in silence. So that was the thing. And I think in the end, the decision went in favor of VP. They won the round while that happened, and at that point, it happened. The decision was it happened for both teams, so we carry on. So this is kind of similar. If both teams are lagging, we probably go for a reset.
I'd say reset, but the thing is with a reset, it's easy to say move on, we go into the future, everything's fine. It's harder to go back because the situation can play out in infinitely different ways.
You'd be gutted. You'd like, well, we had the 3-on-2.
Yeah.
Shoxy got 2 kills. He wasn't lagging. You'd be so gutted for them. It would tilt you so much going into that reset. And
at the same time,
wow, we won that round. They win this now. And then if you lose the pistol after that, you'd be just furious. You'd be like, wow, okay, brilliant. So the LAN has crashed and it's lagging, and now I'm getting punished for it.
At the same time, I said G2 had the opportunity to play the villain. How do we know NiP's not? How do we know they were really lagging? They could have just said the same thing. No, we were lagging. We were like, maybe they weren't, right?
Yeah,
so it goes both ways in that sense, just to clarify. And that's why I'm glad that I'm a caster and not an admin.
And what a good job you do.
Well, it's debatable. I think they just had to put me somewhere, so this is where they found a spot for me. Well, next to you, Henry G.
Happy to have you. And the hype was just building up. I sent a tweet out after the first game saying, this doesn't feel like
you have internet?
No, backstage. After in between maps.
Actually, I do. I take that back. Everything just hit me.
In between maps, I kind of tweeted out saying, it doesn't really feel like a grand final yet. The hype levels aren't really there. It's great to see someone playing so well and setting it up for a best of 3, but I love close games. I love it when there's big clutches and high octane moments, you know. Didn't really get any of that in the first. This one was building up to be that with Michael Eddie coming to life in those last 6 rounds. Nice close scoreline after the first one. 9-6 could go over way with this pistol. The pistol was hype as hell. And then we get this and the high levels start dipping down again. We're going to pick it up, though, Matt. We're going to do everything we can to carry this back into the excitement levels it deserves. Everyone's sitting down right now. Oh, no, well, NiP are. G2 are missing a couple of players.
Back from the bathroom.
Back from the bathroom break.
Someone asked on Twitter, if the admins rule that Shox won even with the lag, shouldn't the round continue and the bomb explosion count? No, the server fully crashed by that time. So,
yeah, no one could even move.
Yeah, no one could even move. And not only that, I highly doubt if there was lag, they'll call it that way. Unless by some way they determined that it was fair lag both sides and if he was able to prevail on the lag. But no one wants that. That's not optimal. That's not fair. It's a handicap both ways, and you don't want to have an odd situation or something involved. I mean, we already do, but in a round that actually counts, I would sooner see the replay if that's the case.
Well, then. Got any other interesting tweets coming in, Mark?
Just peeking through now that I've got internet again.
Give us your best work. What have you got? Oh, it's raining goodies from the heavens here. Like T-shirts are falling from the sky from somewhere. I don't know how this is happening, but it's going to start a riot, I think.
Thorin says we were mixed up. We actually weren't. He needs to go back. We said they were in Minsk. G2 was in Minsk, and it was VP that won Kiev. We did say VP won Kiev.
I might have got confused. I might have said that line wrong. But
typical, Henry. You're the one making the mistakes.
But I think at that point...
It's possible that we're mixed up. We've been in way too many places.
Yeah. It wasn't intentional, obviously. Obviously, we were at Minsk and Kiev. Nice of him to tag us publicly, though, so everyone can see that.
Yeah, thanks, Thorin.
Didn't tell us privately. Cheers.
It doesn't matter. You can't expect much. There's Envious hanging out. Kenny S top left, Devil down in the middle, and I think that we've also got the Na'Vi team there. I do see one of the managers. Yeah, Seized was just there behind the grill.
It's been a long old week here, 5-day tournament. That's like kind of like major levels, right? Like it's.
Well, that's the thing. We said this. Majors last year were 16 teams, 250,000. This is 300,000, 16 teams, and yet it just seems like another tournament this year.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one, definitely. It's like been one of the most memorable tournaments where it kicked off as well. The big teams we had, Godsent, VP, Na'Vi on home soil, Flipside on home soil. We thought this is it. This will be a completely lit tournament. Those guys coming in, Godsent. Obviously, with the roster changes to make their first grand final, maybe against Na'Vi as well. Amazing. How amazing would that be? As simple on the big stage in front of a home crowd. Just now, somehow it's NiP. Who would have thought?
We did have a really good tweet that just came in.
Go on.
And it's from Sponge. He says, talk about F1, please.
No.
So I think we should oblige that. I think there's lots to talk about.
I don't think there's much
I think
to
it's
talk about
interesting
right
that it's been purchased by a U.S. organization, but I don't want them to over-commercialize to the point of NASCAR. But if they could create better sponsorship endorsements throughout the whole field, and we could stop having pay drivers and start having the best talent, that'd be a good thing.
I agree completely. So, and on that note, that's the end of the F1 topic. It is actually the guys chucking down. Is it like pins or something they're chucking down? It looks like you see them raining down.
Swag.
Yeah, it's like I think it looks like little pins or something like that. I'm not sure.
That was weird. I unintentionally. You said they were throwing something, and I said they were throwing swag.
Ah, yes. Well, Matt, this is probably going to be our hardest test yet of filling. We're normally very good at it. I don't really want to do a podcast in the grand final of a massive tournament, although that normally is quite fun. We'll try and keep. Let's see what's going on.
Shocks is leaving the booth now. He's the man in question after all of this. He's leaving actually with the admin. So maybe it is like you said. They want to talk to Shocks directly because he's the one with the 2 kills. Panda is the main admin. Panda and the admin from the G2 booth just walked off together. So maybe they are trying to get a recount from every player that was involved.
Body's just an HLTV. I'm spotting your screen. I see you. I see what you're up to. Maybe he's been called to
reading the threads.
A meeting.
Yeah, I think this is it. So Shocks is going off. He was the man involved. Maybe he's taking in Nyak's back there somewhere too. But this is what I said. Exist now has to play the managerial role, switch his mindset, go deal with the admins. And I would say this is where we start to get into the debate over the decision. I'd say we're getting much closer to it at this point in time. But even when they do have the teams present, they can't make it. Well, I mean, they could make an authoritative decision right in front. But I imagine what they'll do is send them back to the booths, take the information they've gathered, and try and go from there. So I think we're still a bit of time away from this getting back underway.
I would agree. Oh.
It's just people breaking up.
Oh, God, guys.
But you are the most easily startled person in the world.
Just always a bit worried, you know. Hear a loud explosion behind you. You've got a lot of people behind you. You never know what's going on.
So 9-6 for NiP, and a pistol round that's heavily being debated. Good opportunity if you just joined into the tournament this weekend, or today, in fact, not just this weekend. It's a 5-day tournament. Like you said, there's been tons of games, incredible storylines. Navi, VP, all out immediately 0-2, both out immediately 0-2, the two home favorites, even though VP, it's not their home territory.
I'll bring up all
well, I was going to say, I mean, you can look them up, but everyone can. You just download the Score Esports app on your phone. It's got everything there. I mean, Godsent went out in the groups after winning 16-3 over Dignitas, who then went on to go to the semifinals. It's been crazy. It's been one of the more eventful events throughout the course of the year. So iOS App Store and Google Play, get the Score. It's got everything. And I mean, even let's actually, there's a talking point for those joining us.
Go on.
Something we seem to forget too easily, and I think event organizers forget too easily. 3 Asian teams here, and Tyloo showed great form again.
Yeah, they actually opened their campaign up against Natus Vincia on Mirage. A playstyle we'd never seen before, Matt, but one that turned out we can speculate at this point. We were kind of discussing before, was it a direct anti-strat? You and I thought, no, this is just their playstyle. We think this is just something new they're bringing to the table. And then we saw them towards the end of the tournament actually playing against Astralis on the same map. We didn't see any of that. It actually was a much more textbook playstyle, more European 2-1-2 sort of style. And here's some highlights as well for you to look at while you listen to our nonsense. Anyway, the Asians actually turning up, they're taking a team like Navi as well. I actually got a chance to interview StarX after it for the podcast, right? And we kind of discussed what his feelings were behind it. He said the idea was that he had never seen it before. He wasn't expecting it. He didn't want to download their demos and play into their hand too much. Didn't want to try adjusting too much, but he wasn't sure whether it was a direct anti-strat. He didn't watch the Astralis game. I told him about it. I said, they didn't play anything like they did against Astralis, so they did your team, and he just started laughing. He couldn't believe it. And he's just like, well, okay, I guess that settles that discussion, whether they were anti-stratting us or not.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess that's quite a cool thing, though. Like the fact if you can download some demos and you do a hard anti-strat like that, there's such an unknown quantity going into this event. No one knows how to play against you. They're not really sure what you're going to bring to the table. It's quite exciting to see Tyloo open things up and essentially destroy the campaign for Navi going forward there. Godsent as well. They came into the tournament hot, 16-3 versus Dignitas. We thought, okay, this is pretty scary for them now. They're looking like they're going to be getting to that grand final sort of level. Then it all sort of fell apart. Getting knocked out by Dignitas in the end. 2-0 no less. Didn't even pick up a map.
No, I know. I mean, that's the incredible thing.
After beating them 16-3.
Well, Inverters Pro had the schedule change to allow for a media day for the Epicenter LAN that's ahead of us. They flew in, Taz and Pasha, and both apparently said when they got off the plane that they were exhausted.
Clapping.
Drove straight to the arena, played a map, lost, played another map, lost. Hour and 45 minutes later, they were out of the tournament. Went back to the hotel, and within 6 hours, were on a plane back home. I mean, it was the fastest event in the history of CS for them, I'm
best
sure.
of ones in one day. Get the hell out.
Back-to-back as well.
I don't have the server anymore, and I can see on their screen, at least they're not on the server. He's still on HLTV, buddy.
If you want to troll body, go make some threads right now. I'm sorry, HLTV admins, I've just flooded your site.
Well, I'm back on the server myself, so get right. Freiburg Forest, all on there.
They're all here. They're all joining in.
So I assume, presumably,
we haven't heard the call, but we'll find out.
I'm sure. What do you reckon? Okay, Matt.
I think it's going to be a round restart. I think it's got to be a round restart. If they disputed it for this long, it's got to be. Oh, we've got it. Oh. We've just got the call.
Here we go.
They restart from round 2. Gamers 2 are awarded the round. The admin has ruled the lag occurred after the kills, and therefore G2 would have gotten the defuse. Now the issue becomes getting the money done correctly. So they're restoring the server right now. G2 wins the second pistol. We got a game on our hands. Bomb plant for NiP means that at 9-7, as the score now is, they might be able to get an early buy out, but G2's got a chance to make a case on this CT side.
So they're just, I think they're manually doing it right now. They're saying
they have to manually do it.
Yeah.
eBot doesn't have a file to restore to. They have to do the math.
Sure.
They've got to look at essentially what eBot last recorded, forgetting the fact that the bomb blew up, and do it in reverse. This is some. It's going to take some knowledge and some craftsmanship from the admins.
At least it's not nuts. It's a pistol round, right? So at least the money's not too hard to work out. It's just going to be working out who got the kills. They probably have a list of where they need to go. The bomb has to be planted by the same person, so he gets his extra $300 as well. Anyone? Oh, God, another question. Anyone who had full Kevlar left? So that's kind of an interesting point.
Sure, but the admin should be able to figure that out pretty quickly. If they've got a replay, you just look at the replay.
Well, they have to go do that again. It's quite important.
The reason they're asking is because the bomb would have bomb would have killed everyone. So
no, the thing is, right. So if you keep 100 armor, you get to get the upgrade of the helmet for $350. So it's actually quite important for the CT side. If you lose the 1 armor point, you have to spend the full $1,000.
You know what? Yeah, and I see why it's a question, because that's the only thing you can't implement into an eBot. So they'd have to shoot each other.
Yep. You see what I mean? So that's actually, in terms of the economy, it's actually really important. So they're still discussing it. If they want to pause now and work that out, they know it's important because it will cost the CTs money. It might seem like a little petty thing to discuss, but the fact is that's $1,000 you're taking away from CT economy. You probably actually want to make sure it's actually considered. And what seemed like a very quick grand final is getting to the later stages now. It's only 9:15 here in Kiev. And potential another match to be played as well. So they're still discussing. Don't kill me. I plant 1v2 versus Shocks and RBK. Sounds good. Let's go. Okay, they've got a plan. If they do this first time, that'd be appreciated. Definitely every possibility they screw it up, we have to do it again.
Well, at least we've got a decision. I mean, that's big. That's big for G2.
It's massive.
That's huge. And it definitely creates a series out of this as well, because we said overpass. We go to Cobblestone. The way G2's played that over the weekend, I mean, this does hinder. Vince Metis asked, who does this affect more? It hinders both teams.
I'd say G2 will be happy this point.
Happy with the result, but still, I mean, in terms of, muscle memory, the adrenaline.
Yeah, but they did just lose 6 rounds in a row, So NiP waking up tremendously towards the end of that first half. They were the ones on fire. Michael Ailey especially, he was getting in the zone. We know he's a confidence player for sure. We discussed that so many times in our first overpass game against Godsend. We said he's the confidence factor. If he gets in the zone, he starts hitting shots. That's when he starts stepping up. Now he's had this time to stew and get out the sea and have this decision that goes against him and kind of kills the high level a little bit. So the unpause comes in. We are back into it. So if you are just joining us.
Someone asked me to talk about DTM. I won't. Wickens had a horrible weekend and I'm furious.
Anyway, here comes. So if you're just joining us, this is a restart. We've already had this pistol. This is not a real pistol. Yeah.
So they're actually, they're repeating for 7-9. This round will just be for the formality. In fact, I'm not even going to show it to you just for complication's sake, but it's just strictly done. So they're waiting it out. Knives going in. They're trying to replicate the armor by shooting each other in the arm and then a headshot in return to put shocks down low on armor. What I would have liked them to see, though, is okay, they did. He allows the bomb plant. Now they'll get the defuse, the kill. They're just basically replaying it for the sake of mathematics. And that's actually the simplest way to do it. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's the simplest way. They've got to kill it before they defuse, do they not? Or did they agree? Okay, there they go.
Shocks kill. They're taking armor away from Shocks. RPK still has 100 armor.
Uh-oh.
What's happened?
Oh, no, sorry. I saw it from it. I thought I saw a player leave the server, which would have meant they would have had to do it again, but no, they're fine. So there we go, 9-7. They've done it correctly or as best they can. I don't necessarily disagree with doing it that way. It is the one problem with eBot is you can't really go forward. You can only go backwards.
Yeah,
Maybe someone can
you can't really
program
blame
that
the
to
bot
change.
for not predicting what exactly happened before the round ended, you know, but still. Body had 800. He threw a deagle on the floor now. Don't take it, please. He had to reboot and freeze. He had to throw deagle on the floor.
So what's the issue now?
Okay, so they're saying, basically, they've left the deagle in CT spawn. Don't pick it up. And they've agreed they will not touch the deagle.
Well, here we go. Either way, let's make the best of a sticky situation. When life gives you lemons, pull a Cave Johnson and give those lemons back.
I've always said that.
I know that's what you said. I actually just drink a shot of tequila when life gives me lemons. It's perfect.
For a man that doesn't drink, that's impressive.
It's very, very impressive.
Okay, the buys come in for G2. So, we did just reiterate, we got it. There is a bomb plant down for the pistol in NiP. The response from G2 is going to be 5 SMGs. They've done this quite a lot this weekend. I'm not necessarily sure I agree. You know you're going up against AKs in the next, and even if you have a very clean round, you've got that horrible situation where I guess you're banking on the fact you get so many kills with these SMGs, you're farming cash in that manner. Hunting will be Smith's, and he gets the first 2 kills. Successful so far. It's almost guaranteed for them this round. Nothing purchased by NiP. They're getting AKs in the third, like I said. Exist left with Forrest and Michael, but they do some damage here, and Smith does go down after finding those 2 kills.
So 3 on to 4, and a tag into Scream, down to 16 HP on the UMP. 4 SMGs remaining, so no matter who gets kills, they're going to get cash. Shocks will find Michael Lele. It's should be pretty straightforward. And NiP, as you mentioned, just going with these P250s, that early plant. It's kind of what we foretold or expected. We'll go to 9-8, and then NiP should have a response. Unfortunately, they won't have a second bomb plant to complement that and add additional cash.
Not by the looks of things. Exist now. The last player, 6 HP, did find a kill, but he somehow gets another one. He looks pretty undetected towards long for now, but you can see the CT's repositioning, accounting for every eventuality. And Shotsy got the final kill. There it is. 9-8. So it was 9-6. First half score. Pistol picked up G2 after a controversial initial round. This is a chance over NiP to take it to 10-8. They get the AK-47s out. The response from G2. Smith's got $1,200 in that previous round. He gets the AWP. He knows the AKs are coming, so pressure on his shoulders right now. There are 4 UMPs to go with it, so I'd expect something a little bit more aggressive potentially from the CTs here. See whether they go for anything unorthodox. Try and get himself in an advantageous position. Close range. Get 1 kill, upgrade to an AK, and then try and fall back. But pretty standard so far. 3 UMPs towards B. The AWP. 1, of course, and hand to Smith towards middle. Backed up by Scream.
Get right with that quick pop shot. It's going to allow RPK to know that he's there. He'll hear him coming, though. The flash, he's fallen away. It's close. We nearly got an exchange early on with these SMGs, so it's... What do they call that again? I think Mo calls it the Jaden round.
Yeah, I believe he coined that phrase.
Body's going to wait by the boards in case they walk through either the sandbags or the monster tunnel. And that'll give RPK another chance to jump and get information. Smiths can't land the shot. Good to see him getting aggressive. We need to see more of that from Smiths again. Another resurgence, another storyline in this tournament has been Smiths. We talk about Shocks playing good. Well, Smiths, he's been no slouch throughout the course of this event. I think it's been his best event in a long time on the AWP.
It's probably true. Well, 45 seconds remaining. NiP with a chance to get that first kill. It's Get Right spraying towards Monster Tunnel body. Just so that UMP does go down to 12 HP, and we've got 2 smokes remaining, 35 seconds. There will have to be a big commitment. The flash comes in, the contact play for NiP, trying to use the range to their advantage. This first kill is going to be very important indeed.
Makelele, late smoke, but it's there toward the catwalk. That's going to allow Forrest to push up with bomb in hand. He's got to try and get to the default plant. They've got to hold off RPK. Good shot through the smoke. Good read from Makelele spotting the tracers. But Smiths, he's hit a shot from the window on the AWP. That's going to allow Shocks to get closer. Forrest says absolutely not. And bye-bye to Scream as well at the same hands. He's a murderer, Forrest, but he's getting rounds for NiP. That's all that matters. It's 10-8.
Good round from NiP. We did expect it to go in their favor. Like I said, it was interesting to go 5 SMGs on the second round. You know the AKs are coming out. Surely want to have a couple of rifles, build them up, and that allows them to get head armor and sort of a utility, try and keep 5 alive. That's a normal response, at least have 2 rifles, but we do go into round number 19 here. 10-8, and it's going to be no orb for G2. They have got the 5 enforced, but a huge advantage for NiP as they do get Forrest on the AWP himself, so he'll be working towards middle for now, hunting out some initial aggression. I know the CT buy is not going to be great. There's 2 smokes remaining, only 1 kit, no incendiaries, so a full execution would be horrible for G2 to try and hold off. They need to get a man advantage, and they need it soon before NiP get map control and push them back. Just that 1 kit and no smokes is a huge problem. Exists hunting towards middle. His teammates to be joining him. This is Get Right, who's known to play towards B by himself, just holding up, trying to listen for sound cues and try and work out what his next move is.
Yeah, just sit and be a communicative force in that sense. As Forrest out toward the trees, looks for the AWP shot, almost times that to perfection against the flash, but does not land it. It allows a little bit of advancement from both Smiths and Scream out toward the bathroom connector. They're playing off of Shocks. That means 3 and very strong players. Those 3 strong players are over toward A2 inside of the B site. And that's where NiP are accumulating. With 38 seconds again, similar to Cobblestone. A little bit less so, but similar in that it's a long rotation for the Terrorists. This is a commitment. And the smokes imply the same. Molotov to hold them off at double door if they rotate through. Get Right's going to flash in. He's got a smoke in front of him, so they're going to rely on the entrance to come in from guys like Exist and Makelele, but he's gone down, and RPK's found Get Right immediately after as he tries to get through that smoke body. Trading against Exist, and it's G2 with a 2-on-1 against Freiburg, who's looking to the balcony above it. Scream that will hit the shot, though, and it's another round for the French after losing that first gun round. This is going to put NiP back to square one and put them within 1 round of tying up this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The money not looking fantastic here for NiP. Could do a partial buy. There is 4K available on 1 player, but that big execution comes in. They get the energy kills they need as well, but that tag team duo, RPK and Body, it's actually Body that steps up this time, and he holds them off for just long enough for his teammate Shocks to arrive. And Scream as well, and they actually managed to lock down the situation. A big round for them to pick up, and you can see it is a force buy from NiP going aggressively in towards the B. Bomb side, but Body's ready, gets the lineup, and the headshot towards Get Right here, and looking to farm more. Gets 2 kills overall, but Forrest finally takes him down, but they have got the advantage and time to rotate into the site as RPK. This looks pretty straightforward now for G2. He finds 2, and Shocks finishes things off with the final kill there. 4 players alive. Forced by not really working out for NiP, then a tied thing up at 10-10. This really is going to be a close game. And so far, G2 with the advantage. That's the money completely diminished now for the Ninjas.
So 10-10 very quickly. Scout for Smiths as he carries this over against the Pistols. Flash out toward Monster to try and deter any fast plays from the G2 side, but they're waiting back towards spawn at this point in time. NiP. Body with UMP in hand. He's going to be the first to make any contact. Goes down to 58 HP from range.
Well, they know it's a full eco at this point. They've had Glocks. There's no armor, no nades. Get Right dies first at the hands of RPK. And the rest of the terrorists will just be going towards long. The options are limited, I have to say. Forrest has that PD50, so hopefully he gets the first kill and they can somehow get a plant. It's tremendously unlikely they even get a kill at this stage, but let's see what they can do. Will be G2 taking the lead here. After losing the first half 9-6, they've fought back and managed to close things out here, take the lead 11-10. The money for NiP next round.
Flash nearly gives Smith a chance to find a shot with the scout. He doesn't land it, but it shocks him over with an AK. Watch out though, Scream's gone low. So they'll keep this money game in play. Every kill counts. It's going to force reinvestment from G2, but Smith will close it off with the scout. And it's now the lead to G2 on map 2. Remember, they're down one map. They've got to force out map 3, which is cobblestone if required.
So then, 3 rounds in a row for G2. Their money's starting to swell now. I'll be able to upgrade that scout to an orb. I think that's the right call at this stage. Don't want to give too much away here. Don't want to risk anything of a scout. That's NiP. They had about $4,300 across the board, so they get AK-47s, head armor, 5 smokes, a couple of Molotovs. They have been focusing primarily towards the B side so far. They know their execution towards that side is strong, but G2 is stepping up. Like I said, Body and RPK, a great tag team combination. Body especially showed us what he's made of at this tournament. Number 22, Get Right, is lurking towards B, seeing if he can get anything out there. Takes a nade to the face. Decides to fall back slightly.
Flash is back inside of that smoke. Get Right, same position, same thing. He's going to try and just hear exactly what G2 are up to and catch them off. Any chance play. Needs to be careful not to telegraph that he's there as he makes a noise. Gets sprayed through that wall, but he gets a kill on Body. Not before Smiths could find Exist, and they've got Forrest trapped in behind that rock. So one out to the right. That'll push toward Tree to try and force him out. And the timing Flash, though, he still goes down. Tag onto Smiths, but it's not enough. That was supposed to be a kill. Supposed to take him back and let Forrest get away, and Freiburg gets caught by Scream inside bathrooms. It's Get Right to try and pull this back. He's rotated over. He's got one. They nearly lined it up, but Scream, he's going to get 4 kills in the round. And well done from him.
Yeah, 4 in a row now for G2. Pretty basic approach here from the Ninjas, trying to do the default, getting towards Long, but the flashes come through. Aggressive play from the CTs, locking down Long, like he said. Scream, he's having one hell of a game here. 22 kills and 13 deaths, leading the fragging by some margin here. It's another round where G2 almost guaranteed it. It's no real investment from NiP. Some upgraded pistols, but no armor or grenades. Just going to be running around with the pistols, hoping to find something here. But Scream looking hungry as he goes aggressively towards middle here. And this is looking more promising now for the French squad. Oh, RPK, be careful. No players hit these shots, and this time it's Freiburg. You have to say, I thought he spotted him towards the door, but time and time again, we see that shot working out. It's going to be Body. Okay, he recovers the situation. Had another 1D come in. That could have been the round. Looking very turbulent for the French.
And when you're jumping like that, like you say, you would have thought he spotted the door, but it's just hyper focus with your vision because you're trying to catch a fraction of time toward that tunnel usually. Freiburg nails it. They're going to try and boost Michael to get another pick potentially toward window or toxic barrels, and a crossover from Body. He nearly gets spotted. Now they will shocks, but he doesn't slow down long enough to get the shot. Now they're still trying to exchange blows. Not only that, Body comes close up and tries to spray through the boards and get the booster. This could have been a problem for them, but Body's tagged down to 33 still from that exchange with Freiburg. He needs to be careful because Deagles and Tech 9s.
They'll get you.
Yeah. Will they ever? Especially when it's Get Right on a Tech 9. Interestingly enough, to allow the rotation, rather than leaving a player isolated against a swarm of pistols heading toward A, they're going to give the A site up, and it's put Scream out toward Long, so they can try and pinch them in on the A site, and that's going to happen right now. He's going to have this M4 Rady, but he's tagged up. He's on 19. Forrest gets the kill. Now they just have to hold off the rotation. NiP's got a bomb plant down. They've got a man advantage, and they picked up an M4 to go in the hands of Get Right, who's got 100 HP plus the armor, so no aim punch onto him. As such, he goes back to the default position at bathrooms to watch for the defuse, and there's kits on all 3. Smiths will lead the way back into the site. Quick no scope to cover off the corner. Smoke's still out. Forrest's going to try and take advantage of that, and he might actually go for the wide peek against Smiths, but he's caught by Shocks. Back to 3 versus 3, and Shocks is going to push up. Get Right. He's sitting way back on this. He's got the coverage of 2 pistols to hold him in contention, and Michael-Aile's got one on Body. They're on it, though, and they're not in position. Where's the M4? Get Right. He's lined them up. He's got it. It's late, but he's there, and NiP steal the round away.
It all comes from the headshot that started with Freiburg. RPK hunting for intel. Up against the bar, that shouldn't have amounted to too much there. Upgraded pistols, no armor, no nades. RPK drops the first kill, and then you got the weapon in the hands of Get Right there. The bomb's planted, the retake comes in. They get a couple of smokes to work with as well, and the round falls apart for G2. 12-11. A round they shouldn't have had any grounds to win there, and now they're chipping away at the French economy. Body just on a Famous, they're limited with the kits. They do have grenades to work with, but that's brought NiP straight back into this. It should have been 13-10, but now 12-11. And a full buy for NiP. Perfect round from Get Right here. Here's the boost from Shocks towards short. Looking for that first pick, but needs to be careful once again. Freiburg could open the door and take him down. Huge flick required if that does happen.
Shocks boosted, not jumping, can keep his vision distilled across the entirety of his monitor. Last chance for Freiburg to start things off in what turned into a round as they pull this back. Smith's with the scout now, excuse me, with the AWP out toward the front of bathrooms.
Oh, that was the timing we're looking for. RPK's gone aggressive towards short though. Freiburg can hear him, this kill's huge. Freiburg, so many opportunities for kills. It does a lot of damage and Get Right's waiting to pick up the pieces.
And it almost works out in, oh, that's great!
It hits him.
So close. Spotty's on 4, finally Get Right catches him. I was going to say it slowed him down and Get Right couldn't find the kill because he stopped moving, but it works for NiP. An awkward exchange toward RPK as well. He's lucky to get away from that because the headshot lineup was there. 30 seconds. And Bomb is in front of B. Look at the flank coming around again. Scream one out toward Long to try and give up A. They're trying to pinch to them and stack up sights, but it's Get Right. He's got RPK down. A two-man advantage, but it's always threatening when you see Shocks in a position like this. Tries to line it up, does do damage onto Forrest. It's going to bring Smith with the AWP into a close proximity, but that gives Exist and Michael the kills, and NiP, they're going to tie this immediately back up unless Scream can do something absolutely horrific.
Oh, he's in a good
and he's
position.
Prolific. He's got one already over to the AWP, but Get Right closes the round, and 3 for him overall.
It's going to be an eco over G2 as well. Aggressive play from the CTs there. Didn't have the best buy. I said they were limited with utility and kits as well. They're trying to push off towards short. Freiburg opens the door, spots 2, can't land the kill, which was, to be fair, quite an easy shot, but he does damage. Get Right helps him out, and they're able to capitalize on that 5-on-3 situation. You said it, though. Shocks in those kind of positions, you think like he's going to get 1 or 2 kills, and Exist stepping up makes it a pretty clean round overall. 12-12, we're going to go the distance here. It's an eco for G2. NiP should be taking the lead back in their favor, but we saw what can happen with these upgraded pistols. G2 definitely capable of providing similar results. Round number 25. NiP so close to taking the championship here. They're already a map up, and it's coming to the closing sectors here of the second map, where they will have to lead after this round.
Freiburg just waiting for any aggression as NiP strike back with an eco and an execution on the B site that have brought them right back into contention for this game. Pressure on now for G2 as well. It's Freiburg trying to push anyone out of position, force a peek, anything at all really, just to get a kill. Start this round off for NiP's favor as Exist is slowly and disciplined, clearing out all the spots toward A in the bathrooms as well. We know with the threat mentality, they've definitely slowed down and been a lot more methodical in these approaches against the anti-ecos in Freiburg. He's been patient and it pays off. He's going to find Smith, Scream the next in that line. It's going to be Get Right that catches RPK, going to bail out his teammate down there, so things working well. 2 kills already.
NiP known to be very efficient since Threat came into the team. They don't give much away on these anti-eco situations. They're very good at holding the round out, working out where the risks are, and then just working as a unit. You see them sticking together, everyone through Monster Tunnel, one person watching the flanks as well, nailing every shot that comes through. Time to plant as well. This is a perfect anti-eco, and this is exactly what you need, but Shocks comes in. Lovely shot, not going to be too influential to the round's outcome, but he is finding something with this Deagle. Get Right goes down.
He's going to try and do some more damage to them as well economically, but Forrest will not allow it. He's on 57. They'll have to escape the site. Scream's hoping that they'll go toward the doorway as Michael starts to do that. Opens the door. Scream did peek it, but not at the time by which the shot was available to him. Now, where did that gun go down? It went down on the site. Michael yeah, no, never mind. Scream's not me. Oh, he does catch him with his knife out, though, so he gets the kill. That's a gun available. Brings the second one into play. I thought Scream might try and go in late, but with the explosion, it would have pushed the gun away from his entrance.
Yep,
the M4, he's got it.
No, he didn't.
He didn't make it.
Nope. The bomb put it in a horrible, I think like it was a little ramp there. The bomb could have like shoved it up a ramp and shot it up in the air.
Fair enough.
So he didn't get that weapon. But Shocks did get this headshot. Boom. Well then, still not a fantastic buy. This is the chance for NiP to take the championship right now. Not a single kit for G2, not an AWP, no incendiaries. If ever there's a chance to win a tournament, this is the way to do it. A weakened G2, and you have the map advantage as well. 13-12, 4 rounds to go. And you've got such an advantage in terms of the money. It's starting to swell for NiP. Have a buy and a half in reserve. Get right once again towards short. That jump, RPK did not learn your lesson the first time round.
I like that Molotov, actually. Rather than try and go for these crazy shots, just prevent the jump altogether.
Oh, look at the
prevent
damage.
Information. And RPK, what foolishness is that?
It's walked straight into it.
Perhaps he thought that they were going to execute
Could
quickly
kill him.
off of it. I'm not sure, but Get Right comes out worse for wear. You're right, it could kill him, but Get Right goes down to 15 now, so damage is equal aside.
Okay, calm down. A strange altercation to kick things off.
It does take, I mean, the thought of that Molotov is to take away the information, so maybe RPK felt like he had to make a difference, make a move, but that was
Well, he comes out on
questionable.
top somehow. I have no idea.
Sure, why not? Dumb luck. Give yourself to the Lord of Light, and she'll pay you back with some damage through the boards. Let the flames consume you. Freiburg, though, with the smoke in front of him, is going to have to try and probe out exactly where Smiths is gone, and Michael Lilly's going to do the same inside of the bathroom. Smiths needs to be a little bit careful of this. There's no one playing off of him. He's isolated and solo. He needs at least one kill in this. And I emphasize that because if he could find two, that may not even be enough considering how fast they'll swarm. Thankfully, Scream has come out to join him. And they've pre-fired it, but he gets one. There's the trade potential. But he's not going to go for it, Scream, because he knows they're pushing up long. It leaves him in the corner, and Freiburg reads that. He's got the shot in, and now they work toward the site. Smoke soon to dissolve upon the truck. That's going to give Shocks a lineup, but they pre-fire into it. He's tagged down at 3 HP. RPK still on 33 from 44. The Flames will get Shocks. Bye-bye. Hello, 1G. And it's going to be 3 versus 2. Exist just covering off the flank with Forrest on the AWP. The default plant is perfect for bathrooms.
No kits, no nades, and a 3-on-2 of Forrest watching the bomb with the AWP as well. Bonnie's got to work so hard for this. They get one, but RPK now, 2 versus 1 situation. Has nothing to really work with, and there it is. Big round for NiP to pick up. 14-12. Money in desperation for G2. Only have 3K across the board. My God, what a round that was. And Smiths, I'm surprised, even got 1 kill there. You saw the position he was in, did a right-click flashbang. They saw it coming out, did well to even get 1, but NiP stepping out tremendously there. Scream could only get 1 kill as well.
And a brief look at Shocks' face as if he wants to say, I don't want to believe this. I don't want to believe this.
It's happening, boys.
They played so well. He's played so good, and yet they're 2 rounds away, NiP, from winning a tournament in a reunion with Michael Lilly and stealing it away from G2.
And a tournament with Na'Vi, VP, Godsend.
And
G2.
Yep. What an interesting tournament. It may not have the prestige of the majors behind it, but it is still 300,016 teams. In my opinion, the storylines this weekend have rivaled any tournament throughout the entire year. Not to mention the CS we've seen has been excellent.
Yeah, so many crazy results and big plays and just stuff we've never really seen before. It's been a really memorable tournament. 4-on-2 now, Smiths. Good luck, my friend, with the USP. Doesn't need more than that. It's going to be a clean round. And they've made it. Tournament. Yeah, championship point. Okay then, 3 in a row required from G2. They managed to take a full eco, but the pressure is on now. NiP can feel it. It's been a while since Malmo. That was the first tournament they picked up in a very long time. Was it 18 months?
Well, it would have been 13 from Azus Rock
okay,
the year before. So yeah, but either way, over a year by the time they did pick that up. Forrest on the AWP. He's got 2 of them against him in the hands of Smiths and Shocks. It's been the formidable double up setup. Shocks scoped in, able to dodge the flash. Yesterday he did that at drop on a fast play. This time he goes out toward construction and finds Get Right. So they're not done just yet, the French side. And of course it's Shocks to start things off, but he won't celebrate that. It's just 1 kill in what will need to be a series of them to pull these 3 rounds back in their favor. Smith's watching out toward long as well as Michael Lele starts to push up with Exist. It's not an AWP in that position, so it's going to be an AK from far as Freiburg. He might time this with the boost. The door's open. They've heard that shock. City gets taken down, and he looks for the booster as well. Freiburg immediately. The spray master tries to transfer it over. He won't land it, but now we got Michael Lilly out toward long. This is where the action will be, and Smith needs to hit these shots on the AWP. Scream's going to try and get the tree, benefit and bait off his teammate, as we sit at 4 versus 4.
Oh, it's so tense, isn't it? RPK hunting for information too. CD's committed towards long A. RPK needs to make something happen here. He actually gets in a similar position to where Scream was as well, but Freiburg, he steps up. He gets the second kill. Now it's a 4-on-3.
And Get Right down. But we got a push onto a solo body. Good damage into Freiburg, and he's closed it out. Pulls it back, lovely stuff, and he's going to switch to the AWP body. We often see him pick this up late in rounds, but he's usually fairly decent with it in these situations. Unfortunately, flashed off already. Watch a fast flank coming in from G2. They're already in construction. Bombs going in. Smoke,
oh, no!
He doesn't cover, but a missed shot. Smiths, oh, he's missed two! It's a huge problem, and NiP isn't enough because Michael pulls back the kill that came in from Scream. Body's not done yet, though. He's gone back to the M4, and it's Michael versus two. Michael spots them jumping over. They're both caught in a double peek. G2, they'll save it, but my God, that was awkward from Smiths.
Smiths doesn't pick up a single kill. Their body has to do all the work. Smiths, easy shots to be fair. The bomber was in front of him, and that was tantalizingly close. Freiburg doing the initial work there. The bomb goes down towards B. Reactive play from the CTs, trying to do what they can. 15-13, money still available for NiP. And then some. I think they have one more buy after this, which they will. Still 8K in the hands of Exist. Double orbs now for G2. 2 rounds required. 15-13. And this is it. Looks like a heavy B setup from NiP. Sending the bomb towards short tunnel as well. 4 actual players to this side of the map. 1 watching the flanks.
RPK peeks for information. 2 players here trying to bait in for Shocks, and it works. Get Right down early again at the hands of Shocks once more. Not quite as far out this time, but it's still over toward the B site where Get Right has been trying to anchor this construction position, so it's back to Freiburg, who was the one to return it. It's all replicating itself. G2 with the man advantage to work with early. And NiP. You saw it on Get Right's face. It's tense. They just want to get this over with in 2 maps, because if they go to Cobblestone, that's a whole different field.
The thing is as well, Shocks, he's playing to win. He's pushing every single round. This time he finds an AWP kill to kick things off. We've hit the 1 minute mark now. Desperately trying to find something in return. We have got a player in the same position. We saw that Scream. So we saw this from NiP before. This is where Forrest got the double kill. Can he have similar results, Scream, as they will be facing in? He gets flashed in, Scream decides not to take it just yet. Forrest ready with the AWP, and there it is. A big play from Scream, but Forrest replies. Still the man advantage for the CTs, though.
Very important trade from NiP's side. And you're right, Shock's playing to win. He's so scary when he does this. Smiths this time, he nearly lines it up, spots him through the railing, but can't land the shot before Forrest fades away. And he knows not to repeat. He knows it's an op, so he makes a better call. He goes out and drops the bomb, and Smiths makes up for the last round in spades. G2, they're still alive in this. Forrest wraps around Tech 9, but it's going to be 14-15. We've got a 30th round in the deciding game. And will it be a third map, or will it be overtime? G2 still has a large task ahead of them.
After 5 rounds in a row, establishing championship point of the world, somehow G2 get 2. Smith stepping up in this round, locking them down. It comes down to this. Round number 30, money available for both sides, a true test of mental fortitude. We said it before, Shocks has been playing to win. He's been finding those frags. He's been so sensational this tournament. Can he continue it? One more round of force overtime. NiP looking to close things out right here, right now.
Round 30 of 30 in regulation. And G2, just as they did against Envy, concede a late lead to NiP and start to pull things back. This time it's for overtime, not the win. And it's going to be Smiths on a solo AWP on the CT side. That gives Shocks a little more freedom. He's gone aggressive with the AWP twice. Now he's back to the M4. And Forrest, not Michael on the AWP for NiP. They've been switching it quite a bit this game, but Forrest on the T side has been the lead charge in that regard. Yeah,
absolutely. It looks like they're focusing towards long. Get control of the area, force the CTs back to more defensive positions where they don't have information. Freiburg once again holding connector. Flashes go over. Still, the CTs aren't falling back just yet. They want to fight here. Smith's coming in with the AWP. He wants to take a face, checks the first rock. There are 2 players, but Forrest with the first headshot. Could this be it? 5 on 4, 45 seconds remain as Freiburg pushes up middle.
Freiburg is going to be the lead charge on the entries. He's had a great tournament as well. There's been so many players returning to form this week. The player break, maybe it's beneficial, maybe we need more, because this is some of the best CS we've seen in a while. It's refreshing. Scream, he gets aggressive. He's got Michael back. This is a game-changing play, but Freiburg, he's got the entrance he needs. It's Shocks that's got to come up large with the M4 inside of the site. Smoked off on one side, but he's looking to push through, and as the flash comes over, it works. He's got a kill. He's got Forrest and Shocks. He's on the form he's had all weekend, and overtime might be in the cards, but Freiburg's pulled it back. No, Body's got it, and round 30 goes to G2 as they get 3 in a row, and we go to overtime.
Amazing scenes, and his Body to finish things off. Shoxy, though, he steps up that round. It's the initial kill for NiP. Forrest rips the head off Smiths. They make their way to the side. They're finding the trades they need. Smiths going down first, and then it's Shoxy, though. Holds his nerve. We've called him out. Said he's playing to win. And my God, he might have just done it. He's forced overtime. It all resets now. NiP so close. 1v1 to finish it off. And Body, the man of... He's just been the newest member of G2. He's only got 11 frags, but that could be the most important one of the entire series.
Comes out large as Freiburg gets caught sandwiched between two G2 players. And that's determination on Shox. He refuses to lose at this point.
So it is MR3 16K, which means we'll have gun rounds throughout.
And thankfully not Dust 2, because we talked about that.
Thankfully not Dust 2, so yeah. So it means basically, if you are new to the game, it's basically a full reset here. It's a draw, essentially, so we play overtime. It's 1st to 19 on your scoreboard, so 3 of each half. Whoever gets 4 rounds first, they win. You're going to have guns the whole time. Economy doesn't really come into play with this sort of system. Everyone's going to have guns every single round, no pistols really. And here we go then. That's a great, great comeback from G2. What a tense round it was. And I hope we see some more fireworks going off here. Those last few rounds delivered. That was great from Body. Up against it. He finds the wall bang on towards Freiburg. You couldn't write this stuff if you tried. And here we go then. The buys come in. It's a double AWP set up for NiP. Forrest and Michael Ailey going to be having a go with it. Smith's single AWP set up on the CT side. Smith's, you have to say, those last few, he was influential, but Forrest got the better of him. And Shoxy, my word, what a tournament he's had.
So many players have, and we're underway. Here we go, G2. Continuing on the CT side with the single AWP setup. It's a double. It is Michael Ailey back without Forrest on his own. It's both of them this time. Never mind switching back and forth. And Michael Ailey scouting toward, I suppose it's confusing when I say scouting. He's probing toward Monster Tunnel with his AWP.
Well, there we go then. A full default for sure from NiP. 2B, 1 connector, 2 making their way towards long, but it's an aggressive setup from the CTs. You can see Scream. He set up towards long. Smith's with the AWP backing him up as well. A pretty deadly duo. Smith's the idea. He fires 1 shot. Scream will pounce at that point.
Forrest has it, Scream. You said he would pounce. That flash doesn't work, and Forrest has an elongated angle, so it never reached him, and he had the shot, and the second on his Smiths. Not only that, the second AWP, NiP's gone for a double up. They've got 3 kills with it. Michael Ailey's taking down Body on the B site.
Lovely work so far by these AWPs, proving to be a reliable investment. RPK pushes short, 5-on-2, they might as well go for it. We said money wasn't really an issue in this setup. And NiP with this patience, they've got 35 seconds. RPK could do something about this though. If he drops the bomb towards short, finds something out of this.
That's, oh, Freiburg, this is perfect. That door opens inward. He now knows he's there. He shuts it. That's going to distract him. They're easily by, so the bomb opportunity's gone. And RPK is as well, as Freiburg will push through. Exist late on the lurk. He's going to hold and contain Shox away. And NiP, after losing 3 rounds in regulation, go into overtime, and they've got a 5-on-1 situation, and it's going to end with all 5 alive. Not that it matters money-wise. It's not like they're building up anything, but it's convincing as they go 16-15.
All 5 players intact for NiP. You're absolutely right. Sends a message out. We've adjusted to what you're doing. You're not going to find a single kill now. The double AWPs finding them. Forrest. He's been in some great form recently. The last 6 months for him has been fantastic. Still solid as ever here in the grand final. 16-15. It's a double AWP setup for the CTs. They're trying to fight fire with fire as Shox joins the action as well. We said he was playing to win, and he goes aggressive with this AWP. Let's see what he brings to round number 2 here of overtime. He's boosted, watching the short tunnel here. This is another default for the Ninjas.
Michael Ailey tries to get the shot through the smoke this time. On to Body. Nade as well to cover off any chance he wants to hug the wall and suck them into a trap. 4 AWPs this time in play as Shox, a man who started 2 of the 3 rounds by which G2 came back into things on that weapon. He's gone back to it again. Freiburg is going to start to push through the lower tunnels and clear out any corners, push back the stairwells. And now they've got some room to work with. 52 seconds. Still opportunity to go back to B if they wanted to, but they're actually rotating off that. Michael Ailey is bringing the AWP back all the way out toward long A as well. And that's where Forrest resides with his, so they are going to try and find an opening pick still before they fully commit. Smiths, he's going to do the opposite from the CT side. He's going to get aggressive to try and shut them down before they can even have the attempt of doing so. And he's got a shot at a kill onto Freiberg. It looked like it was just the arm that he would have hit, but it doesn't matter. It was clean. It wasn't through the edge of the wall, so it's a kill now for the CTs. Execution still in effect for NiP. It's one of the rifles down, though, keep in mind.
Smoke.
That's brilliant. Comes back in, flash over, Scream gets aggressive. It's G2 responding. And heavily so as Get Right drops bomb top stairs, 14 seconds, and NiP, that's round over, I'm afraid. They're not going to be able to find 5 kills and a bomb plant that quickly. And money doesn't matter, you might as well go for glory. Exist's going to do just that. He'll get one, Forrest to follow it up, but 2 seconds left. It's G2 answering, 16-16.
It's going to be a tight one. It's G2 this time, playing more aggressive. The double orb setup works out for them. Smith's landing some vital shots there. The execution looks sloppy from NiP. Smoke's missing and getting caught with nades in their hands as well. You could see that G2 applying a little bit more pressure, not sitting so far back, is paying dividends for them. We enter the final round here of the first half of overtime. 1-1. Big round, double orb setup again, once again for NiP. Same story for G2. Shocks, this time in the same position, boosted up with RPK. And it doesn't matter though, Get Right finds it. What a shot. Okay.
Starts it off, Shocks the entry man from G2. Entry man, CT side, I know it's a weird phrase, but he's been the man to get the opening picks. He goes down, and 2 rounds T side for NiP would be absolutely tremendous, but Smiths pulls one back toward long. That's Forrest. So now, they're going to put Exist over toward A. Bomb still dropped inside of the T stairwells. It's just about probing information and finding another pick. I would say until about the 50-second mark for NiP, and that's when they and we're already seeing it. Exist going back to grab that bomb. They start to make the decision.
4-4, tension mounting now. We hit the 1 minute mark, and NiP still have 3 smokes and 3 Molotovs here. A full execution against 4 players on CT could be tremendous for them. The other 2 CDs pretty far away from the situation as well. Looked like it will be a B play. They love the contact situation, and Michael Ailey looking to make something happen there as he edges up towards short of the orb. RBK close range though. Perfect position to counter.
He's going to have to go quickly. Michael Ailey's AWP is already in place. He's blinded up. RBK surely has the kill. It's an easy one, but Freiberg is there as he overextends, and that's going to allow the wraparound in from Monster. Scream down to Freiberg as well. The entrances from Freiberg again continue to wreak havoc, but Body's actually taken a very good position in this. He snuck up short. Freiberg's ready for it. I thought for sure he'd be watching doors. He left the site with 2 teammates especially there, and he's got the awareness. Freiberg's back. NiP seemingly are as well, because they're about to steal the 2nd round of a terrorist campaign. In overtime, out of the 3, they'll go 2-1 on the attacking side. Exist closing in against Smiths.
Freiberg, what was that about? Definitely stepping up to the plate here. He finds 3 kills, all headshots in crucial situation. Body thought he'd snuck behind enemy lines there. I thought it was a guaranteed kill. Freiberg low HP, he nails it. What a round. It's 2-1 here. NiP take the lead once again. 1 round for the draw, 2 for the win as we enter the 2nd half of overtime.
And NiP, man, it always seems to be the case that when you're a little bit late charged inside a regulation, you go to overtime and you find those elusive rounds, and they end up winning this T side 2-1. 19 rounds will win it, 18-18. We go to double overtime and do it all again. And trust me, that is not something that is impossible to imagine right now. It's something we see quite commonly when games are this close as well.
Right then. Here it is, the pressure on towards G2 now. Arguably the unfavored side, depending on the matchup. The T side here. Need 2 rounds for the draw. This is definitely the advantage for NiP. I'm sure the game time will come in momentarily. Here it is.
So Forrest M4 fast out toward mid. They haven't seen, or we haven't seen, no one's really seen the early Michael Ailey aggression on that AWP. It wasn't very prominent in regulation. Our game sounds seemingly are still quiet, but they're there.
Yeah, let's turn it up, production, if you can hear us.
Michael Ailey. It's Freiberg that took the early damage as well. In return fire, he took some into Shocks and put him down to 61 as the smoke will land at the front of bathrooms. And Smiths starts to round the corner and get some line of sight toward where Forrest formerly was. And he fades back toward the site. They're going to go passive NiP. They can't find the opening pick that they wanted. So Get Right and Forrest, classic duo, legendary duo. Going to play this together toward bathrooms while the other 3 start to favor off toward the B site. But it is A that we're seeing the activity on the minimap toward. Michael Ailey, though, does find Shocks late.
First one. It's actually towards connector as well. So Michael Ailey doing some big work here.
That's from window, so he was watching that door aggressively, but now they've got Get Right down. Crossfire comes in, it's RPK with both. Both of the legends fall to the tank. As Michael Ailey, though, does get RPK down in the end, it's still 3 versus 3, and NiP, quick Molotov out toward long, are trying to find the championship point for the second time. They had 3 map and championship points to work with in regulation. They would get 2 here. This smoke, you're right, they've got to push through at 25 seconds. And they'll go, quick check of the corner from Body as he runs past. Scream to hold the angle, flash comes through. And Exist is trying to lurk late. Scream's gonna be slowed down a little bit. He might be perfectly timed here. We're gonna have to see if they follow and read it. They do. Smith turns back on the AWP and it's all on to Michael Ailey. He's been exceptional, but he's gotta come up even more than that if they want to try and get this map point. Otherwise, it'll be tied 17-17 and a heads-up brawl to the finish. Michael Ailey just walking in, one to his right, finds it, great up-close shot, Body down. He's got another one in front spot, Scream, no shot coming back from the AK. Gives him a chance to reset and play this correctly. You would have thought he would have had that no-scope. My God, that was close, but Scream will prevail and it's 17-17.
That was the chance, that no-scope. Had he have hit it, he's actually got a little bit of an advantage there. One-on-one bomb down with an AK waiting for him in bathrooms as well. That could have been a tremendous way. And Michael Ailey ace in a 3-on-1 as well. Like he said it, the legends dropping in bathrooms there. RBK steps up. One more round will be the draw and secure a second set of overtime. NiP back to the single AWP here. Same story for our G2.
Quick Molotov at stairs for G2 as they just want to map control. They want to make sure they've got the rotation available to them, and they'll continue looking for picks. And this boost at the corner doesn't give any additional vision. All it is to make sure they have 2 players facing at the same time if anyone rounds that corner, to make sure they've got the damage advantage. We never really did see that push toward the park bench from Michael Ailey, but this time he'll be passive-aggressive in the sense that he is pushed up slightly inside of the bathrooms, but not doing anything flashy or remarkable, just holding the angle.
Once again, no encounters to start the round, but it will be a B execute by the looks of things. Maybe a simple one. Scream loves walking these positions and Exist. He's going to be tested right now.
And in the first half, this is where Exist struggled. He was late to get on the board. This time Molotov'd out. It's going to pull Freiburg over. They've got 3 players here. Freiburg's managed to burn one. Thankfully, Get Right's burned the other. They've stacked the Molotovs. As NiP and Exist on low HP is going to pull around back, but it's Scream and Body finding kills in return. It's a 2 versus 2. And Forrest! He's late on the lurk, but he goes berserk. He's got 2 kills, and it's NiP on championship point again.
The Body's just burning to a crisp on the bomb site. I thought G2 had that round tied up. It looked like a perfect execution, but we know NiP on the CD side especially, so good at saving that incendiary for the right moment there. Exist dropped one, so does Get Right. They burned 2 players down, and that's it. Championship points, it's 1st-19. G2, the pressure once again on their side of the server. Smiths with the AWP. Exciting round. We saw that aggression there from Michael Ailey. He went for the first shot that he described before. And it's going to be another B-sided play by the looks of things. Body comes up towards short. Freiburg and Exist to be tested once more.
They're going to go faster here. They're going to try and hit before they can get full information on the NiP side, but they're still out toward bathrooms through smoke potentially for Scream. Exist, same spot, they're already in. They go in and they're not even ready for it. Exist goes down immediately, but Freiburg again, he's got bomb. It's dropped down to the water, he's got a 3rd. Freiburg is going large. As G2, it's Body to pull it back, smoke in the window. They can actually round it right now, but they're not sure what's going on toward jungle. So a late Molotov to ensure the bomb is recoverable. But Body not only has to pick that up, he's got to walk it back to the site. They're still down here as it's he and Scream to keep G2 alive and force double overtime. And Michael Ailey, the shot was there. He only gets tagged down to 67, but my God, Body's lucky to get away against the AWP player that NiP's had on this CT side.
Bomb's still down at this point. They want to be getting another kill here. They know they can't really plant. There's a backstab coming in from Connector though. They're trying to pincer these last 2 terrorist players. Bomb recovered. The plant will come in momentarily. That will be the cue for NiP to make their move.
Molotov to ensure that that late player Get Right can't come in as quickly as to deny the plant. And Body's going to wait this out in water. He's going to try and just sit and hope that they overlook that position. It's not common in a post plant when you're down on a man. Maybe if you've got 5 or 4 up, but it's Scream to start it off. The headshot toward Forrest. It's going to mean Get Right has to come up from the sandbags. They read the timing, but Get Right's done the damage. He's holding the spray. It's awkward. It's back and forth. Michael Ailey's caught coming out of the window. He never anticipated Body's position. It works for him. And now they've got the advantage. It's double overtime. We are not done, and thank God, because this is incredible Counter-Strike.
Unbelievable rounds here. Freiberg, he finds 3 kills in the fast B play. We thought that'd be enough. The bomb down in a horrible situation as well. It's Get Right coming for the pincer. The bomb plants. G2 doing everything they can to stay alive here. Getting through by the skin of their teeth. Scream nails a shot in heaven, and Body finishes things off. My God. This is the kind of grand final game we wanted, Matt. We're getting double overtime. NiP reset once again. They've had championship points twice now. Just can't close it out. And especially in situations where they have these advantages. 1 kill would separate it. Get Right with the full spray down on short. I thought that was it. Here's the replay. Freiberg, magnificent work over his teammate, dropped straight away. That's the bomb going down. I thought that was it. Smiths as well. What a great round from Freiberg. Still not enough to win it. Not yet.
Take a deep breath. Get ready to do this all again. Start to finish, this tournament has been no short of writing pages that are interesting to read. The 16 threes that were then recovered by Dignitas. Godsent going out. Na'Vi, again, we said at VP. The Asian teams showing, I think, the best showing they've had. Although Tyloo didn't make the playoffs this time, sure, but they definitely were more competitive in many regards. And I think if you look back on the whole year, this tournament's up there in terms of start-to-finish action. So it's a high-caliber one.
It will reset once again here. Same rules apply, just back to square. And we're going to be coming in. No double off setup here for the CT. Same story for G2, just Michael on the orb this time. We said he does have the potential to be aggressive here. G2 default for now, actually focusing towards long pretty fast. Going to be taking control of that area. There's no orb to challenge him as well, so this is actually looking pretty promising for them. Forrest will probably hear a footstep around about now, so he turns around, and he doesn't know where he's getting pincered here, so difficult round for him.
So Forrest is just waiting for them. They're actually going to go by. This could actually work. He could actually catch them off. Smith's unaware, down easy. AWP drop. Now Forrest is going to be smart about this and try and get away. There's no one to support him out, and he actually turns back and catches Scream. I thought he'd just run for the hills, but the hills won't hide Forrest as he turns around. It's going to be Body that does tink him down to the end, but they're down a man already. And NiP looking to start off the second half in command. It's almost, you almost think that at this point, they've had map point, they've had the lead, they had it 15 to 12, and G2's always been playing catch up, even in the overtime. You kind of, I almost want to think that if G2 get the lead, it might just be enough for them to push it over. So NiP's got the pressure on.
They've had 2 chances now to close this one out. If G2 take it, they've had plenty of opportunity to close it, but 4-1-3 now. Still opportunities for G2 to work with. Smiths and Scream have gone down, though. They're the ones opening up the map, to be fair. So what's the play from here? 2 smokes available. Shocks trying to sell something towards B. He's by himself. His teammates are actually on the bathroom at the A side, so he's trying to find a frag. His Molotov's out for now, actually, so he'll edge in, but he should be almost certainly dead, which it is. It's going to be Freiberg finding the kill. 4-on-2. It doesn't cause the rotations to get right. Easy kills for him coming in.
One. And oh, the wrong way. He reads it wrong. He expects long. He gives Body the kill in return, but it is a 1-on-3. And 7 seconds. He commits to the plant. They'll allow it to happen. Money not a factor. You don't need to force that issue. And that actually might allow him to line them up. You know, though, Michael Laley, he goes in on his own. There's no crossfire setup. There's no trade potential. It's down to a 1 versus 2. And they've got to wait for Exist to go on the flank. He gets caught off inside of the smoke. Body, he's got a 1-on-3. He sprays into the flash. But he can't quite close it. Freiberg just holds on.
You saw the sigh of relief there from Michael Laley. Oh, goodness. 1-on-3, and Body does the perfect movement there to even find those first few kills, and he can't get the last one. Freiberg takes him down. And it is going to be 1918. Obviously, doesn't really have any impact to the economy. Just NiP breathing easy after that very tense situation. Body stepping up to the plate there. 1918, or 1-0 as we go into round number 2. Double op setup.
Yeah, and this is the thing. We're seeing it again. We're not seeing it on the CT side, though. It's T side double op. We saw it almost every time in overtime for G2's first campaign. NiP, they 2-1 the first half T side of overtime, of the first overtime, excuse me, and they're looking to try and at least do that, replicate that again on this CT side. Scream's going to clear bathrooms out, flash over to allow him to do that. Pops just inside of the doorway, so everyone would have been blinded, but there's no one there. Instead, it's Michael Laley waiting, trying to see above the smoke toward the top of the stairwell coming out from middle. Forrest now knows with that flash in his face that he's definitely got company toward long counter flash back that'll allow Michael to fall inside of the site more safely, even though he doesn't peek it. It's just to be cautious and absolutely sure. And it's going to be Scream in on his own, making noise. They know he's here now, and it's forced to hold the line. He won't get the kill. It's Michael to cover off Smiths on the way through before the smoke blooms. The timing slightly off. As now RPK will try and walk in, bomb behind him. They will get another plant. And potentially a chance to hold this off because Body nearly did it his own last time, 1 versus 3. They've got a crossfire potential, but inside of the smoke forest has a lineup. There's a gap, and he's got a kill on RPK. It's down to just Body and Shocks. Default plant, but watch the flank. It's Get Right. He's got Shocks. That's the player they were relying on, and Body can't 1v5. It's going to be NiP again. They're on to 20 rounds.
Some important notes there. You said it, the timing was off with the smokes. This time a much more passive hold from NiP, actually allowing G2 to execute there. But the timings don't really work out. Michael is gifted a kill before the smoke even blooms in front of him. Forrest is waiting behind those gaps as well towards APC. He finds the first 2. The bomb's allowed to be planted. It is a clean round for NiP. 2-0 here. The pressure's on once more. G2 need this round. It can't be a 3-0. It'll be too hard to actually return the favor. So much pressure. They did it before in regulation with 3 in a row, but can they do it again with a fully equipped NiP who've been great on the T-half? It's going to be Forrest aggressive this time, changing his stance towards Connector.
Freiburg and Forrest. This time over toward B. Remember, we did see in regulation Get Right and Forrest playing together. We mentioned the legendary duo toward the bathrooms. They're switching it up again on this NiP side. Single op once more. Single op this time for Smiths, and he's going to be the one to try and hold the wide angle. Was Body getting around the corner, but it's Forrest again. They push. NiP, they're changing it up. We said it in the first half when they played CT side. They were changing things. There were so many different approaches to this map. You go for the aggressive bench peek with Michael They never did that. They never really took the lower underpass. And then Get Right did one round. They got the bomb. They're just throwing enough of a change to G2. They can't read it, and that is almost a lineup for Michael. Now the flames come in, the flash as well. He's forced all the way back. Better timings for G2 this time, and better kill from Shocks on the Tech 9 round the corner. Michael has got Shocks. That drops bomb temporarily, but 50 seconds. We won't read into that panic too much. Still, though, they are down a man, and NiP not only get 2 rounds this first half, they could potentially sweep it and find themselves with 3 map points to work with, not with Scream in the way. He's got the headshot on to exist. And Get Right's there immediately after, but Michael finding Smiths. Scream, he's going to get pushed out with a Molotov, and Get Right flushes him into his own trap. It's a 1 versus 3 again for Body. Bomb down once more. Forrest doesn't spot him just yet, but they will double peek it. No! Oh, Body! Oh, Body. You would have think he could have easily tapped that one, but it would have been impossible for him to follow up on the second either way. It is 3 rounds for NiP and map point already. Championship point already.
Absolutely. It seems like G2 running out of ideas. There are lots of AXQs coming in, but NiP getting the better of them every single time. They're allowing them to have long at the start. They're fine with that. Michael's hitting absolutely everything when they're coming towards the site. Great backup as well. They're delaying them for long enough. Get Right coming in. Got a bit interesting with the one taps from Scream, but Get Right shut him down. 38 kills with Forresto. And the Connector at the start, he gains that man advantage towards Connector. Gives his team such a huge foundation to build upon, and it's 3-0 now. 1 round will do it on the T side. That's it. Another championship point. Surely this time, it's the one to capitalize on. Surely.
And you got to think about this guy right now, Shocks. Determined. He's an absolute beast in games like this. He's been no shortage of that here. It is Scream that leads the way at 35 kills, though.
Forresto, 38.
Yeah.
Great, just great performance, a great CS overall. This has been one of the classic finals now. Cash was lackluster. This map has brought it right back into what we expect from these big games.
Double op immediately pulled out from NiP. They didn't do it on their CT, they're doing it on the T side of overpass.
This is what worked for them, though, on the first set of overtime. It's Michael and Forrest that opened things up so efficiently towards long. And it's only the single off for Smiths this time. And you can see Scream, he's getting towards Connector. He wants to be the one playing to win right now, finding the kills, being assertive.
I really thought the way he's playing right now, he was just going to peek that straight up.
Yeah, me too. Okay, then.
Body's been clever in this B position as well. He plays more aggressively than Exist does by comparison in the same sort of approach, holding down that monster. We see Exist behind Toxic. It's easier to Molotov off, whereas Body's trying to be less, I guess, predictable in that sense, but at the same time, he puts himself in a more vulnerable position when they do come through. So you rely on getting 2 kills almost. Scream, he goes down. Freiburg's got it, he reads it, he's cleared it.
Wow.
4 left to go, 1 round for NiP, and it's all done.
Freiburg, on these T-halves especially, this is something we haven't seen from him in years. That's not even an exaggeration. This is some of the best form we've seen from him, and what a time to show up.
Well, they've definitely been tested more so than on Cash. That goes without saying. And you're dead right, Freiburg. He says he's been putting a lot more hours into the game as of late. It's showing. Get Right, of Quick smoke onto Catwalk. 3 players inside, boosted up as well. That smoke goes just low. It'll cover off most of Catwalk, but not quite the elevation required and the gap, and I think they called it was missed because they put in additional ones, but are they going to sell on this? Are they realized that they've messed up the execution enough to try and fall back? There's 27 seconds. There's not a lot of time, and with Michael inside Monster, that answers our question. They're going to go. Flash out perfectly timed, though. Body, he's not going to peek it. He's going to get stuck in on these flames, but he's got the lineup towards Exist, who finds the headshot in reverse. It's just 3 to go, but they are still down for Freiburg after all of this, and RPK's got decent position. Watch as well the play coming in from the stairwell. Bomb is planted by the pillar, open to the sandbags, and Shox, he'll start it off. Forrest getting the kill. Shox going to round the corner and find Get Right, who's not aware yet, but there is a follow-up potential for Exist. Oh. The pistol won't do it for Shox. It's RPK versus 2, and it's NiP on the reunion, on the brink of stealing the Star Series championship in 2 straight maps. There's no kid either. 10 seconds, what? He baits it out, and it Exists. It's NiP, and they've done it in 2. 2 maps, 2 overtimes, and a clean sweep for the second one as the Swedes. First time back with Michael, and my God, do you ever want that to keep being a thing? Can't Get Right, almost falls out of the booth.
2-0 against G2, haven't dropped a single map this entire tournament. It's NiP that shut them down, double overtime. Cash was impressive, but that was such an amazing game of CS to finish it off.
And who do they give the trophy to? Because so many heroes. It's Get Right. The inarticulation of joy, you have to say, and you got to wonder, is this welcome back, Michael? Do they have to keep him
I
at
don't
this
know.
point?
Surely. He played out of his mind as well. It's not like he was there making up the numbers. He was phenomenal throughout. A great job by him, and in every game he's performing, and he did it in the grand final as well. You can't really argue his performance at all. And NiP, what a romantic story. Coming into this tournament with him joining 1 week or so before this, and they come and take the whole thing.
And everyone contributed. This guy as well, Exist. He had so many good counter kills. He was a little bit slow on the B side to get started, but in-game leading without threat.
On the stage right now, champions of StarSeries Season 2, Ninjas in Pajamas. Please welcome. Guys, right now I want to pay your attention on one interesting detail. When you're so dedicated and confident on the game, take a look on the Get Right shoes right now, and not also on his shoes. They are standing on the stage just in their socks, because it's not the bands right now. Guys, congratulations to you. If it's possible, I know that it's a second LAN right now, second finals on the stage that you already won in this year. First one was in Sweden, first one was in your native country, and right now it seems that you are in very, very nice form. What can you say about plans of the Ninjas of Pajamas for this year?
Make it to at least semifinals every tournament, and made ourselves like a top 3 team of this year. Sorry, I have bad words here. But of course, we're aiming to winning every tournament that we attend, and we're just super happy to win this because we lost the majors, like playoff spot for the next major to Flipside, which is a Ukrainian team, so I guess it's good to be here and don't say any bad words. But it's a nice like revenge in a way for us personally, and I'm just happy, and yeah, that's it.
It was a long day, guys. So let's applaud one more time for the champions, for the Ninjas in Pajamas, and make that time to relax. Guys, we appreciate that you are here right now. Right now, we will back to analyst desk, and we'll come back to you guys after the short break. NiP, Ninjas in Pajamas, champions!
Champions indeed, an incredible tournament throughout for every team, and it's kind of like they said, you know, we saw the tweet from Astralis saying, oh, well, we made our goal for the tournament. That's not a mentality. But NiP, their mentality, they look like they're back. They win Malmo. Yep. Everyone's excited. They're resurged. They bring they bring Threat in. Things are looking up, and they get served the hardest blow they've had as a team. They lose their legendary spot. Yeah. And rather than sitting and dwelling on their laurels, Get Right says it. We're back, and we want to win every tournament that we're in for the rest of the year.
What a way to do it. I don't think anyone could have predicted this going into this one. I don't think any analyst would have told you that NiP can do this coming in of Michael Ailey. I don't think anyone considered him a top player anymore. Once he got removed from FaZe, I thought that was it. He won't ever return to the limelight again. He's come back. I didn't even believe this would be happening, and he's performed very well on the big stage. Like I said, he wasn't making up the numbers. He was carrying his weight, and well, not carrying the team, but he was doing a very good job at actually performing and actually making sure he was there with the team.
Well, I think it's testament as well, because when Michael did come back, it was at the removal of Disco Doplin. It wasn't even planned. It was Disco. There was some complications with all of that, and Michael was the guy they turned to. Having used him before on short notice, he showed up. He wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Just sitting at home watching CS probably. But the interesting thing is that I thought, okay, well, Disco is doing so well. How could they possibly replicate that? They bring in a second stand-in, and they continue that success. That says it's not just the stand-ins. The whole team is firing on all cylinders right now. And I think Freiburg in specific, that performance highlights it, because that was incredible.
Never seen anything like that from him in about 2 years, I think. It's been absolutely nuts. But, Matthew, I think that's our time. It's been emotional.
It's been good. It's been great. This is one of the best tournaments we've been at all year in terms of action.
Yeah. Well,
With that said, we'll send it back over for the last time to some boys on the desk that I'm sure are just as happy. Paul, by all means, do the honors. Close us off from this exceptional tournament.
Gaming Bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Getting tired of playing with the usual skins, but don't have enough money to buy a new one? Get rich fast with CSGoFast.com. CSGO Fast. It's a strong chance of winning in every game. Several rooms with different game modes. Daily, more than 1,000 games, 5,000 players, and 25,000 skins at stake. You don't need much in order to sweep the board.
Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and StarCraft 2, the largest contests in the history of esports among the national teams. World Electronic Sports Games, the World Championship with the total prize pool of $4.5 million US. Registration for Europe and CIS regions is open. The finals will be held from October 6 to 9 in Kiev, Ukraine. Win your slot in the finals of the World Championship. Register right now.
There we have it then. The champions have been crowned. Ninjas in Pajamas win their second championship of 2016 and return to old ways. And what a performance it was in the grand final as well. Really exciting at the end, bringing us all the way through double overtime. We've got our panel members back on the desk for the final time on the championship, day 5 of the grand final here. Yanko, Vendetta, and Natu. Welcome back to all of you. How do you put it? A win by NiP into the context of Counter-Strike in 2016?
I think it was an amazing win and a really an exciting map. I think this is why we all love and follow CS, simply because of moments like these. For NiP, of course, an incredible win considering all the teams that were in attendance here. Granted, SK, you know, the best team in the world wasn't at the tournament, but you had the likes of Navi, VP, FaZe, Astralis, a lot of really, really good teams were here, and NiP managing to take it home with a stand-in, I think that's a huge surprise.
Yeah.